here in the beautiful Mexico City for the Mexican Grand Prix as well, and tonight is also going to be a historic night as well. I can feel it in my waters, I can feel it in my bones, and hopefully we'll have a much more happier atmosphere than what we had in Bahrain today. Goodness me, if you haven't seen it, but you may not have seen it, but you've probably heard of the awful incident that Roman Grosjean was involved in a couple of hours ago. Good gosh, and I think the Formula 1 post show is still going on, which is yeah, I've got to say, it's quite difficult for me. I must say, I do love to watch all of it, but I am dedicated to my work here tonight. But yeah, going back to a more serious side of things, yeah, hopefully Roman Grosjean had an awful incident, didn't he? He's got a couple of burns as well, hasn't he? And I think I've heard a whisper that he's got some a broken rib or two, but gosh, that incident was absolutely horrific, wasn't it? The back end car was ripped off, wasn't it? Shocking stuff indeed then. Anyway, then going on to tonight in ALR Gold, then we are here in Mexico City, as I just mentioned, 17 turns around this 2.6 mile circuit. Bottas holds the lap record officially for Formula 1. What about for ALR, I hear you cry? Well, it's actually by Grant at the moment, and we got a 1:16 then in place then, which is 1:16.562 by Granty in a race trim. What about in qualifying trim? Well, in qualifying trim, it's actually Vedsley, who of course made quite an impactful return, didn't he, towards the end of last season, didn't he? And he's done a 1:14.366 then. I think that record might be broken, so then I think that we're going to be a couple of seconds quicker, and I'm really looking forward to that one as well. And we got a Monza spec rear car setup as well for this one, because well, we're so high up, aren't we? But it's all about the air density and all that kind of jazz then. And excuse me as I just stretch my old hip and everything like that. Volky Volcano then is driving tonight for the Mercedes team. Hello, Volky, making his day. Volky, hello, Volky, making your debut here tonight for ALR Gold. Good luck as well. We've also got Sam, a former Mercedes driver in his own right there. He's also in the comments as well. Good stuff to see Sam also doing some comments as well. Right, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? It is going to, as I said, it's going to be a historic day. And what is that? I hear you cry. Because tonight, potentially, Emerson could make history, not only becoming the first ever, his first ever title in ALR, but potentially be the earliest man to win an ALR Gold Championship, because the earliest ALR Gold has ever won was with 1 round to go, wasn't it? Of course, that Nigel won with 1 round to go in Abu Dhabi in season 1. Granty won with 1 round to go in France of last season as well. And the season 2, it went right down to the wire in Abu Dhabi, didn't it? Well, tonight, Emerson, if he wins here tonight, will be the earliest champion of ALR Gold with 2 rounds to go. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed, isn't it? Gunnar Senna, evening everyone. We've also got Becca, good evening. We've also got Emerson, today could be the day as well. And let's just solidify. No, solidify. Is it solidify? I don't know. But anyway, as you were, so Emerson then is leading the championship by 57 points. The aim for Granty tonight, he has to get it under 51 points. If him and Emerson draw, Emerson will win the title, going back on wins the season. Granty's only had 1. Emerson's got 5, I think. And unfortunately, with only 3 rounds to go, Granty cannot equal that tally. So that is the state of play there. 57 points said, so Granty needs at least 6 points here tonight then to keep himself in the championship hunt. Total Peas has got a problem with it. It's got a bit of a technical issue, unfortunately, so Total Peas has been ruled out of the championship. Otherwise, we could have had the championship go on to possibly Brazil, maybe even Abu Dhabi as well. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Total Peas had out of the running as well, so he's got to be looking over his shoulder now, because Alhan is only 44 points back, and Alhan had an incredible win last time. We'll touch on that in the USA in just a few moments. He's 4th now, and he is 43 points in front of Caesar, who's moved up to position as well. Mr. Elite also could be a good day for Mr. Elite and Emerson as well. We'll talk about that in just a few moments. But Mr. Elite down 1 position. Jonathan in 7th position as well. And then with Clarkey 8th as well. Then it's a good old battle between Mr. Elite, between Caesar and Mr. Elite, Jonathan, Clarkey, Milan and Fireshot. It's a brilliant old battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th then. 11th position then is Farf as well. Diego not too far back as well. Equals has moved up the most positions. He's got up 13th then. Good 7 detail from Equals. In the relegation zone at the moment is King's Indian Jesus and Nightwing as well. In the constructor standings, this is the state of play then, as the countdown is on then. Renault are now about 12 points away from becoming the Constructors World Champions then. Red Bull need to outscore Renault by 12 points tonight then to keep that championship hope alive then. So it's going to be a difficult task for Red Bull tonight then, but Renault then 76 points in front of Red Bull second. Williams, the former Constructors Champions then of last season, I should say, they are now out of the running, but they've moved up to third as well. Alpha Tower dropped to fourth, and Racing Point are fifth position as well. It's very much nip and tuck between Williams, Alpha Tower and Racing Point for the third position in the Constructors. Mercedes in sixth position then, with McLaren seventh as well, and then we've got McLaren and Ferrari quite close as well at seventh, eighth position. Haas have moved off the bottom of the table with a good result last time out at ninth, and Alfa Romeo are now bottom of the standings in 10th position as well. 17 cars then around Mexico here tonight as well. Ayrton, hello Sean, hope Emerson gets closer to that trophy tonight. Well, potentially he could have both hands on that trophy tonight, can he? So that is definitely the aim. Hence for the Renault team, and talking of the Renault team as well, they can win the Constructors here tonight as well then. So 2 championships. I'm going to have to get my old calculator out. Where is it? Oh gosh, where is it? Oh, don't worry, it's alright, it's here. And basically it's just me old tablet. Unfortunately the battery's knackered in it, so all it's useful now is well, all it's good for now is a big calculator. And to be honest, it's good it's big, because it helps my fat fingers and all that kind of jazz then. At the moment no one's in a rush to get out here in Mexico at the moment then. First came back on the calendar in 2015. Before that, I think it last race around here in 92, didn't it? Unfortunately, they got rid of the Parotada, which is now the Nigel Mansell turn, isn't it? So that's a big shame, isn't it? But really couldn't introduce it back, can they? Because of the because there's a road literally just on the other side of that wall, isn't it? So unless they push the road back, which I think they should have done, to be honest, just to keep the Parotada in action there. But there you go. Then unfortunately, we all can't have it our own way, can we? Let's just watch this while then. We've got Vintage say, good evening Sean, hope you had a good weekend. I've had a very good weekend. I've done absolutely nothing, so that is the perfect weekend for me. Granted then, of course, said he has been the world champion for the last 2 seasons then. Is this the final time that he's going to be champion of ALR then? Well, we'll find out then, but he's coming out of the pits as well then in the Williams end, so pressure's on Granty, isn't it? Let's see what the double world champion can do then as well then. He's going to need a bit of a miracle, isn't he? But remember in 2007 Kimi Räikkönen needed something similar to what Granty needs in the last 3 races, and he got the job done then. So it's still all to play for until mathematically it is done and dusted then. So that is my opinion. So do never count your chickens before they hatch then. Peter saying, come on Emerson, get the job done, mate. And Vince will say, even in lads and lasses as well then. So Bulky Volcano, I can't say Bulky Volcano, Volcano here tonight. Thank goodness me, I'm just too excited, and gosh. This is just on board now with Grant, and he's coming the first car out of pits. I've also got the Williams team of Gunnar, who is also making an appearance here tonight as well. Good to see Gunnar in the cockpit then. And just on board with Granty right now then, he's about to start his lap then. A couple of milestones to tell you about here tonight as well, and one of them, it is actually Mumford's 30th Grand Prix start here tonight. Well, it would have been, but he's not in this race tonight, unfortunately for Mumford, but it would have been his 30th Grand Prix start, so that's a bit of a shame now for Mumford. But hopefully he can next time out. This will be Favre's 65th Grand Prix start tonight here in Mexico, as Granty is going to be the first man to start out off in the action then. But I think the big milestone tonight, and of course you may have seen it on Twitter and Instagram, of course, is that we are now down with the cool kids, aren't we, here in ALR. It is Dan Murphy's 70th Grand Prix start here in ALR. Fantastic, isn't it? Milestone as well. And of course he is he's now the most all-time most experienced driver in ALR, and he has got 4 pole positions to his name now. He's had a pole position this season as well. The other 3 came back in season 2 when he was driving the Scarlet car. We have had 14 podiums there for 14 podiums there for Dan as well, and also 6 fast laps, 3 driver of the days as well. And this is a great stat actually. In 69 Grand Prix starts, he has only DNF'd 13 times, and that is absolutely incredible, isn't it? And that is just the will. That's just the sheer will of the man, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed. Oh, as I'm quickly just wiping away all my notifications there. Granted, coming out the final turn as well, so he's fast as he's done a 14.213 so far to get us off the mark. Good stuff indeed. What about Bulky Volcano then? This is his first time in the gold then. He is second fast at the moment, and he's a couple of seconds away from the pace setter at the moment. We've got Nightwing. Can Nightwing get off the mark as well then? He is he's six fast at the moment, but he hasn't set time, has he? But he hasn't got any points either, Nightwing hasn't just yet then. What about we got Ferrari out there as well of Kingdom then. I think Kingdom, since stepping into that Ferrari, has been really good actually, hasn't he, Kingdom? As I think that he's got 14 points in like 3 races there, so that's absolutely fantastic. He's scored in every single race since stepping into that Ferrari. Good stuff indeed there for Kingdom. I think that really we should be shouting his praise there. Good stuff indeed there. We've also got Alhan then, who's also on the circuit. Well, he's gone second fast because he won last time out, didn't he, in Abu Dhabi? It was a brilliant race, wasn't it, for Alhan? He kept it clean. He was Mr. Clean, Mr. Precise there, and that's why he got the win there. And it was also he had a really appalling start again, didn't he, Alhan did? But goodness me, he just found himself, but he just kept himself in the running there, and he is now in. He's still fourth in the championship, but he's also a race winner now as well. Lovely stuff indeed. That Gunner's gone at full fast at the moment. Tango is invalidated. Thomas is going to have a second bite of the cherry, isn't he? We're just watching Murphy, who's also come on the track as well. This is Mr. 70 here today then, so good 70 there for Murphy. A big milestone indeed then. So just on board now with Murphy then, as he is just on his first timed lap then. So Granty there, I think it's just going around again actually. He's having another bite of the chair as well. Murphy's invalidated his time, unfortunately. Equals is a lovely gold helmet there from Equals. He's about to start his lap then. We got Renault's out there as well. We got Cart Boy, who makes his debut as well tonight then. And I think this is his second Grand Prix in ALR, isn't it? Because he drove in bronze, didn't he, last time out in the United States Grand Prix. I think he had a very good race in my opinion, and probably could have and should have been a bit higher up than what he was there. He might have been a bit unlucky with strategies and things like that, but I think that today I'm really interested to see what he could do in that Haas car at the moment. So Cart Boy in action again here tonight then, and hopefully he can have a good performance then. Really looking forward to seeing what he can do as well, as he flies underneath me as well at some velocity, doesn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed that. Clarky, there's another Alpha Tower out there. It's Tango going for his second bite of chair as well. Here is Tango then in the Alpha Tower. Alpha Tower got a big old scrap out in full third position in the constructor's head, so we'll be keeping on that then. Here comes Tango out of the Nigel Mansell turn 17 then. Finish line comes up to you quite quickly. He is third, full fast at the moment because Nightwing has gone second. Nightwing has been really quick, but unfortunately struggles to get to the end so far. Granted, at the moment there is the measuring stick of the grid so far. Cart goes into fifth fastest. Lovely stuff indeed. That Bulky has done a couple of laps there on the on those tires as well. Just watching Murphy then, as we've already mentioned then, Mr. 70 today then. Good 70 there for Dan, and of course hopefully he can get himself a good performance as well. He's never won a race in gold, has he? He's won a couple in bronze and silver now. Can he complete the full set before the end of the season as well? He's in 9th fast at the moment there, down in 9th for this shed then. Diego then is just coming through turn 2 and 3 as well. Mr. Lee also on action as well. Emerson has just snuck past me, and he has gone fast instead in the Renault by 2/10 of a second. If he wins here tonight, it doesn't matter what Grant does, and he will be the world champion of ALR Gold then. He has been formidable this season, he really has then. In terms of consistency though, this hasn't been the strongest season of those, but I think that what he's really nailed down this season is qualifying and just racking up those wins, hasn't he? That is what Emerson has really improved on this season. He's been absolutely immense there. On board with Diego as well, as he flies through the S's as well there. And 3 DRS zones around here, of course, and there's this new one just here, isn't it? Because I don't think we had it last season, did we? Or did we? I can't remember then. Into the stadium section now as well for Diego then. Very much Mickey Mouse around here, isn't it? It's not the most impressive piece of racetrack in the world, is it? Goodness me. Now accelerated out then, and let's see what Diego do then. Comes across the line, he's 7th fast one. What about Mr. Elite then? Remember, Mr. Elite can be a crucial role here tonight for the Renault team. Can he and Emerson there get Renault's second Constructors Championship? Remember, they won it in season 2, didn't they? Renault did, with Granty himself there. But tonight Granty is racing against the enemy, which is the Williams team, isn't he? So yeah, Renault's so it's very different. It's very different, isn't it? How all of a sudden it's just swings and roundabouts in this world of motorsport, isn't it? Sirs Mushroom, go get him, Granty lad, and Gooner, driver of the day as well. Noonda, I wish I was there, was raising the podium here for the gold champion then, and you know, just on board now as well with Dan as well as he's coming down the back straight. Clarkey then, of course, he's got qualifying 2 ban. Clarkey has, as him and Murphy came to blows, didn't they? Just coming out of turn 18 in the United States Grand Prix. It was very much nip and tuck, wasn't it? But unfortunately, they both came off at the worst end of that, didn't they? It was a big old shunt indeed, wasn't it, between the 2 drivers there, and that may have cost Clarkey perhaps a decent haul of points at the very least, maybe even the win then. But of course, there's if buts and maybe in Formula 1 is now, and ALR, and I think and it really can't really say too much about that, can you? As Clarkey just on an out lap at the moment. We've also got Caesar out on the lap as well. I think this season we've had so many new Grand Prix wins, haven't we? Talking about Caesar, he's had 2 Grand Prix wins this season. Clarkey's had 2 Grand Prix wins as well, and he's been brilliant. Alhan is now the new member, or the newest member to the circle of race winners as well. Now, I gotta say, it's setting up very nicely for season 5. Season 5 of ALR next season. I am looking forward to that one indeed. There, I know. I think that there's going to be a lot of people queuing up for the crown of Emerson. Emerson had a lot of issues to begin with, a lot of technical gremlins dinging the Renault, and I think luckily there was no one very much. There was no one really in good form to pounce on those gremlins at the early stage of the season, or no one committed enough, I should say. As unfortunately, Cookie decided that he had enough and hung up his race boots after through the season. Perhaps this might be slightly different, but that's kind of half the rule of league races, isn't it? You got to be there. You got to be in it to win it. It doesn't matter. You can appear and be really quick for the first cut for like 4 or 5 races. We've had a lot of super subs over the years in the ALR, and yeah, they may have been quick on those few occasions there, but they've never been able to get it out for the whole of the season, have they? And that is crucial, isn't it, to become a league champion as well. And that's what Emerson's done, and it's good stuff indeed. And you may notice that there is a man who has never missed an ALR race, as far as I'm concerned, right up until tonight. That's Jonathan Cox said. So for the first time in about 53 races in ALR, we are not going to have Jonathan Cox on the starting grid there. Goodness me. So this is the first time that Jonathan has missed a race in ALR. So of course he's not very well tonight. And of course, I hope you get better soon, John. And hopefully we'll see you back on the circuit in a week's time at the Brazilian Grand Prix, of course. And you may notice that next week then Sakir is an hour later, isn't it, to this week's race then. Well, I think it's meant to start at 3:30 tomorrow, isn't it, as Grant is retired from the session. Clarkey's gone fast at the moment now, and Clarkey might also be a driver that's going to throw a span in the works. Him and Clarkey, Emerson and Clarkey have been really good. I've really enjoyed their battles over the past couple of weeks or so. Really good stuff indeed then. Here comes Caesar. Caesar now, or Caesar, he is flying the flag for the Red Bull tonight, isn't he? Out of the final turn as well, and he goes into 4 fastest as well. Good stuff indeed there for Caesar. Lovely stuff indeed then, as he is now in 4 fastest. So we're aiming to lose 2 cars in this qualifying session. Far from the moment now, he's got his feet up as we're just watching Bulky Volcano then, as he's done 3 laps there on the soft tires, and goodness me then, as I think there's a bit of miscommunication there between the AlphaTauri and the Mercedes there, and oh goodness me then, it's Clark there is not a happy bunny about that as he's weaving away. Yeah, I think that there might have been a bit of miscommunication there on board of Fireshot as he comes out of the final turn as well. I think Fireshot had a very good race last time, didn't he? He's got 6 points then in the McLaren as well. I don't like to keep saying this, but McLaren have probably have been disappointed. I think one of the most disappointing teams for me this season. I think that they would have had such a strong lineup, didn't they? Both Jonathan and Fireshot. I don't think they've lived up to the billing, and unfortunately Fireshot hasn't lived up to the billing in turn 1 either, as he is going to be he's unfortunately going to be I'm going to have to go around again, isn't he? Bulky Volcano then, he's going to have another bite to the cherry as well then. Yeah, remember next week then, we got the Sakir Grand Prix. If I'm not very much mistaken, I'm sure it starts at 3 next week, doesn't it? And Well, does it start later? I don't know. But all I know is that we potentially might be pushing the gold race back there. Or we might, or unfortunately, I might just have to join the race then, because, of course, there's one thing I do love more than ALR, and that's the actual world of Formula 1 then. So, yeah, there's a potential that you might be delaying the race for an hour next week, and it would be at 7:30 rather than at 6:30 then. But watch this space there, of course. We'll put it on the social media and in Discord as well then. So it might be at 7:30 rather than 6:30 next week as well. Bulky Volcano has done 4 laps on these soft tires. He's got 4 minutes to go, and I wonder if he might abandon this lap and come back in to the pits then as well. Just quickly catching up then as Anunda saying, sure, I don't think you you read my comment right. No, I didn't. Yeah, I was kind of trying to skim over it whilst watching what was going on the track there. Granty, hello, my husband. I hope you're well then. As Gradual saying, we'll try mushroom. Yes, I'm very well, Granty. I hope you're having a lovely day as well. I'd like to know what you've had for dinner. We've also got... Will's got back and saying, get credit where you deserve as well. Then I'm so behind in these comments. I'm trying to struggle. I'm trying to wonder what's going on. Then we've also got Shabual, anyway. But he's asked what happens to Cookie. Unfortunately, Cookie decided to call it a day after 3 DNFs, and which is a shame. And he sounded like he just fell out of love with the game. Then really, but there you go. But Emerson there has kept on, hasn't he? And he is now leading the championship. And that is the state of play then. Fireshot is invalidated once again now, just 3 minutes ago in this session, so he's going to have to really, I wonder if he's going to have to come in the pits there and really get a move on, isn't he? Farf is also come out of the pits as well. What about Kingdom? Where is he doing? Farf's teammate is 3 tenths of a second up then, as he is just the break this glowing absolutely splendidly as well. Bulky Volcano then is carrying onwards up then. He's done 5 laps on the soft tires. Bulky Volcano has Equals said good luck gold, lovely stuff indeed then. And Serious Mission saying that the race was born after Grosjean's crash there. I think it was born after Stroll's crash as well, wasn't it? After he was upside down. We've also got Payne saying, Ginger, when you crashed last night, you turned into Gunther Steiner. I didn't have a very good I didn't have a very good race last night, but I think we should leave it there. Then I've got to say, I've got a very naughty potty mouth when I'm on one. We've just got a bulky Volcano coming into the pits then as well. As you can see, we've got such a wide pit lane here, aren't we? It's of course a part of the new up-to-date Mexican circuit, isn't it? It's great to be back in Mexico. I got to say, I think it has the second best podium of the season behind Italy. But then again, I do change my mind because I do love this podium. Then it feels like you're a rock star, doesn't it? I'm sure there was a DJ. Was it? I don't know who the DJ was, to be honest. I'm not cool enough, really. I do love a bit of techno music, but I have no idea what the DJ was then. As just watching Farfetch, he is coming out of the Mickey Mouse Stadium sector as well, on board with the 3-time Grand Prix winner. Emerson's retired from the session and he has just come back into the pits as well. Farfetch done a 14, but I think he's invalidated, so he's going to have to go around again, and it looks like he might have 2 timed runs as well. LH44 it said Shalom. We've also got Payne saying good luck Tommy as well. Cartboy has retired from the session in 11th position, but that should be enough, as Bulky Volcano is also through as well. Farshot and Farf, 2 former Grand Prix winners, and ALR there is in the most on its back foot. Both are at the moment, and this is not good at all, is it? As Pillars are saying, they got to keep an eye on Alhan there, as Mr. Clean might be able to make up some positions without getting pounces again. Then, yeah, you've already seen there Farf and Fireshot there, accumulating a couple of pounds already on their opening qualifying runs. There, you get a lot of pounces around this circuit, don't you? If you if you're just not on it, are you? So we just got Yellow Flag in the third one as well. As a Farf on the second DR, so that Frida, and he flies underneath me as well in the Ferrari. Second intermediate split time is a 55 as well, going a bit wide there into the stadium sector from car 15. Diego's retired, but I think he's safely through as well. I think Gunnar and Bulky might be a bit sweating there at the moment, because Gunnar's in 14th position and Bulky is in 15th. Farf comes across the line, he's 8th fastest there as well, and I think Farf's had a bit of a renaissance as of late, as he's been really good. Murphy, who has retired from the session quarter on, the guy in the 70th Grand Prix start, is going to be a bit concerned about what's going on here then. Oh, Gunnar then's gone a bit wide, and Tango's retired from the session as well. What can Gunnar do? He's a 10th for a second down in that second. Williams at the moment now, and I think that Gunnar then is going to have to find a lot of time in this final section as well, but he's invalidated his time. Gunnar might be done to death. He's technically still in the moment now. Bulky has not set a time yet, but I think I'm actually behind then, so as you were, guys, as you were. And just now, as Fireshot there just starting his lap. So now Bulky Volcano's got one more shot. Gunnar out of qualify. Well, he's not out of qualified at the moment, and he might be able to get through a qualifying at the moment. But that time is enough to get him through at the moment. We haven't seen Fireshot though, have we? Get a Williamson, far shot, do a time, yeah, goodness me, that back end is trying to overtake the front, oh my word. So far shot has got a very light rear end there, hasn't he? A 55.8 there for far shot in the second intermediate split time as we come into the stadium sector as well. As of course our head admin, no, Knowlesy there had a great time, didn't he, last season, I believe. Was it last season? For God's sake, feels these years fly by, but I think Knowlesy was there as well. Got some brilliant action shots, didn't he? And he is, and far shot though is 9 fast at the moment in the McLaren. He is through then. Mr. Lee is a 3/10 of a second up on the second time and going a bit wide there. And I gotta say, I'm surprised at the tracking validation there, because I've been completely ran over the chicane there. But he's now in the pits now. King's over his 14th. So if Bulky Volcano, but he's 6/10 of a second down, then Gooner's out of qualifying. Bulky Volcano might also be out of qualifying as well. Then as now then Bulky Volcano I think might be peeling off and into the pits out. And oh gosh, as he tapped the barrier there, didn't he? But he comes out of the front turn, and Bulky Volcano does improve, but he is out of qualifying. We've got 2 cars out of qualifying, unfortunately. We will have Beefy, I think, who will join the race then as well. And remember that Red Bull, the team that can stop Renault from celebrating the Constructors' Championship. We've already rewarded one team of the Constructors' Championship this year, and that was the Williams team last time out in the American Grand Prix, sorry, United States Grand Prix, where Williams clinched it with a great drive from both Velocity and Nunda there, as they once again Velocity and Nunda showed that they are probably the best overtakers in all the ALR, and they've impressive stuff indeed that from both drivers. As just now watching as we got to the same now, some great times out there. There really is indeed. Then straight into the 13 straight away. Remember, I've already mentioned the all-time lap record. Well, that's been smashed already, hasn't it? And we're only in qualifying 1, where the track is probably at its most greenest, isn't it? Of course, the track will rubber in then as we get going. And of course, the track will be at its absolute quickest on the last lap of the race. Then, but bear with us, folks, because we're miles away from that at the moment. As we're just watching Bulky, who is coming into the pits. Well, remember, this is first race in a gold there, isn't he? So he might be just trying to shake the cobwebs off slightly. Two guys who have dropped out of qualifying 1 then. That is Bulky Volcano out in 17th and Gooner in 16th position as well. Murphy there was looking at the brink there, wasn't he? Goodness me, I would have been very nervous if I was down, but he is through into qualifying 2 as well. Good stuff indeed then. Remember that Clark, he has a qualifying 2 ban, doesn't he? So he will be, there'll be 14 cars rather than 15 as well. And Clark is already from the gauntlet down, hasn't he? Because he is quickest in this qualifying session at the moment as well. Only 83 hundredths a second from the maybe the champion-elect Emerson, perhaps then. Tango's left the session there, as hopefully Tango just keeps having these gremlins, doesn't he? Same with P's having a technical issue with his PlayStation. I think that Tango's got an issue with his PlayStation as well then. Serious Merchant saying Dan that 15th, that's a shocker. It would be equal to saying that was very close indeed, wasn't it, to Dan as well. So yeah, Dan, I got to say, Dan would look over his shoulder there, wasn't he? Goodness me. There's Pillar saying Emerson to wrap this up tonight. He looked class around here. On a Thursday evening. So yes, Emerson there might be. I think that'll be his first championship. Well, definitely his first championship in ALR. So absolutely brilliant stuff indeed that. But yes, Emerson there, since he stepped into ALR, he has been very much out the sharp end of the field, hasn't he? He's been very close on 2 occasions there, but it has been Grant who has come out on top in the last 2 times that they have been Julian as well. But this season I feel that Granty has just struggled a bit, hasn't he? And I think that Emerson has really got on top of these cars quite quickly as well. The 2019 iteration of the game is slightly different to this one, isn't it? And I think that it definitely does suit some drivers more than others there. As just watching Murphy coming out on circuit as well. For example, I hope Murphy don't mind me saying this, but I feel that he was a lot quicker on the in terms of time, he is probably quicker on this game, but I feel that he felt more comfortable on the 2019 cars in my opinion. But that is just my opinion. And as to this season anyway, and it's like Emerson there, I gotta say Emerson was good on the last game as well, but compared to this season, he has really hit the ground running, hasn't he? And I think even in pre-season as well, Emerson was looking on fine form, wasn't he? Just watching Dan then, who is of course first out on circuit there, he was I think he would have been very concerned now in this first part of qualifying there, being knocked out. That Sebastian then is saying that I'm driving for Grosjean, and Cart Boy then, so good stuff indeed there for Carter. As yeah, definitely good stuff indeed. Then of course Grosjean there, so lucky, wasn't it? I think that we all had sinking feelings, didn't we, when We were seeing that incident in the background of that long shot going up into turn 4. Gosh, there, and that was quite frightening indeed. Quite frightening indeed, and how I think it is one of the most. It was a miracle, wasn't it, really, for Grosjean? And I think that it's very difficult to say, isn't it? But well, it's not difficult to say. It's real. I think we're glad to see him all fit and healthy, aren't we? Gosh, there, someone was really looking down on Grosjean today, wasn't he? Because I think that. He was lucky to get away with that, and lucky to get away with hopefully just minor burns. And I think that he's also got a cracked rib or something. Actually, Murphy unfortunately has invalidated his time, so he's going to have to go around again then. But yeah, wishing that Grosjean a speedy recovery. But I think if he's got a cracked rib, I'm not sure if he'll be able to race then, will he? As Kingdom's gone very wide into turn 1 and invalidated his time then. So that's 2 times we've already seen invalidated in his second qualifying session. I think David Coulthard broke a rib, didn't he, in the Spanish Grand Prix? No, just before the Spanish Grand Prix, didn't he, in 2000? He did race them, but these cars these days are quite formidable machines, aren't they? So Grosjean might struggle, but of course I think more importantly it's about Grosjean's health and well-being, isn't it? Just taking a look then, we've got like saying hello. Sector 3 is my weakest there from Bulky Volcano. Serious much saying nah, Dan is just sandbagging as well. Mr. Young likes asking, what does Emerson need to do to win the championship tonight? Well, put in a nutshell, he just needs to win. So there you go. I gotta say, if he keeps it easy for me tonight, then all he has to do is just win. Then doesn't matter what Granty does. Then Granty needs to finish 7-4 above for him to be in the championship still as well. Renault needs 12 points, don't they, to also wrap up the constructors as well. There or thereabouts, I think. So yes, so there is a lot of things up to play for it tonight in ALR, and of course one of them is to maybe crown a champion, maybe to even crown a constructor as well. Then I've had my calculator out for the past couple of weeks now, for silver and bronze. I think it's the first I've got it out for gold here tonight as well. Murphy has retired from the session now, so there's some major issues there with that racing point of Dan Murphy. Of course, he started off in that car at the beginning of the season then, and he looks like he's having some major gremlins, isn't he, Danny? So that's a bit unfortunate there for him. And just taking a quick look as well, then we've got Bulky Volcano. I could at least do a 09 in Brazil then. And Serious Merchant saying, just win lights. Yes, it's as easy as that then. Absolutely good stuff indeed then. So yeah, Mr. Young Lights there is cheering on Emerson as well. Of course, he would love to see Emerson win tonight, but of course, Granty would love to stop him as well then. It's good stuff indeed. A good old bit of rivalry as well. Emerson saying Granty can't score more than 5 points than me, or I win then as well. So yeah, that also sums it up as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. And yeah, Young Lights was saying he'll be the third different ALR Gold champion. Yeah, so for the first 4 seasons, then we will, of course, there's a lot of if, buts, and maybe in this game, isn't there? So we do not want to count our chickens before they hatch. But if Emerson does win, it'll be our third world champion in 4 seasons. There, of course, Nigel won the first season. Granty dominated the 2019 game. While on 2020, it looks like that Emerson has got the one finger on his trophy as well. Kingdom is gone at fast on there on those medium tires. Cart is gone at second fast. I think he made a mistake somewhere, Cart has. So he's going to have another bite of chair as well. Diego also on medium tires then. As now as we come through the stadium sector as well then. As now coming into the final. So I'd like to hear what your opinions on this circuit. I quite like Sector 2, but yeah, I think that it's not the worst track on the calendar, is it? Not by far, but I wouldn't say it's probably anyone's favourite as such. But I do love the long drag. It's probably the second longest drag down into the first braking zone, isn't it, if I'm not very much mistaken. Mr. Elite there looking very much on it like a car bonnet tonight, and he is fastest. But just as soon as I say that, Tango decides to come in, really come and spoil my party there, hasn't he? He's really well, he's really put a dumb squeal on that for me, hasn't he? But he is now fastest there. Tango is there on the medium tires and almost a second in front of Mr. Elite. Goodness gracious me then. I know that was quite a formidable lap there from Tango. Good stuff. He crawls out on the lap at the moment, and we've also got Emerson there coming blasting down the back straight as well. Carter's had a much better second fist of it, hasn't he? He has done a 14.6 and lovely 17. Here comes Nightwing as well. So quick in qualifying, maybe a bit too quick through the SSN, so he's going to have to take another bite of cherry as well. Alhan there is, I think, just well, he's on the slow lap at the moment. Then he quals out of the. Oh goodness me! I thought he was going to come in the pits there, but he's going to carry on. Then he quals. He is 6th fastest at the moment as well. Nightwing is invalidated his time. Then Emerson is on the furthest part of the circuit as well. So keep an eye on what the world, I'm sorry, not the world champion yet, goodness me, on the championship, on the champion-elect, perhaps, and well, we've found out Car 21 in the Renault. Of course, he's got rid of his Renault Clio now, hasn't he? He's got, what's he got? I think he's got a, I don't know what he's got. I think he's got a smart car now, hasn't he, Emerson? So he's really going up in the world. Let's see what he can, well, and of course, there's a great place to go up in the world, isn't it? Because I think this is the highest Grand Prix in terms of the distance from sea level. So really good stuff indeed there for Emerson. Really good stuff indeed, isn't it? I've got to say that. And yep, Emerson, they're coming across the line as well. He goes at second fast. Mount Cart is the fastest at the moment. And Fireshot going a bit wide. Then if you go too wide out of that turn, that is it. You're done and dusted. And there's a car. V-Quals that it was found a shortcut. Caesar has was starting to slap them, but he's looking very slow down that back straight then. Oh gosh, Sarah, I've just knocked my helmet off. What? My headset off. We've just taken a look as well there. We've also got Mr. Young Light saying that which Whitesnet didn't let me down. I could have been in the running for the championship. I was leading once, but good luck to Emerson as well. I think that Young Light has done a fantastic season. Remember, got his first pole position this season and also got his first race win as well, if I'm not very much mistaken. And he was very much a forward in the side of the of Cookie and Emerson at the beginning of the season, wasn't he? Unfortunately, the internet was just a major problem, wasn't it, for Lights? But hopefully we'll see him back next season if we can get the internet going as well. But that's hopefully, well, that's another story, and hopefully we'll be talking about that on the grid in Australia back in next month in 2 months time in January as well. Then I think I'm in December at the moment. Every time I go around, all I see is Christmas decorations. Then, but there you go. I'm not a Scrooge, I swear. Well, I am a bit actually. The only thing I love about Christmas is the chocolate and the presents. Actually, I like Christmas, it's alright, isn't it? Fireshot then coming through, coming into third DRS as well, just on board Valhan as he's coming into the coming in to the final part of the stadium sector as well then for Alhan. And of course he is the latest Grand Prix winner in gold. And we've got such a rich form of drivers at the moment, and we've got so many drivers that have won races now in gold. And it's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely loving it. And Fireshot is one of them as well. He is in fifth fast at the moment in the McLaren, and he is the sole McLaren representative here tonight as well. Let's see if we can get some points on the board then. Caesar is just coming from the second back straight from 3 into 4 as well then. And just watching that, Vulcan say, I know this is biased, but Caesar is my favourite gold driver. And of course, why wouldn't you be a fan of Caesar? We got him on the screen as well at the moment. A two-time Grand Prix winner, Caesar. Wow, he flies past me. Absolutely brilliant. Caesar has never had a pole position, has he? But he's had 2 wins, 4 podiums as well, Caesar has said. And yeah, I think if he can get his DNFs sorted out, he would definitely be a run-in as well. I say his DNF sorted out. He's only had 3 DNFs in 10 starts. So I think that might have been a bit of an unfair comment then, perhaps, then, from my point of view. But Caesar then coming through turn 16 and 17 as well then. What can the former Grand Prix winner do then? Out of the fall turn, he's hugging it. The inside down, he goes third fast as well, and Granty is on the track as well. What about Nightwing? Very quick in qualifying trim. Can he get some points then in the final stages of the race as well then? And as Zer's supposed to say, forgot Dan and Clarkey had qualifying bans. I'm sure, I think Clarkey had qualifying bans. I can't remember if Dan did, but I should have probably read the old report. I did read the report, and I've definitely seen Clarkey's name in it. And we've also just taken a look as well. As Sarah's saying, a Volkswagen Golf. I think that's Emerson's car, or was that his favourite sport? We've also got I can't fit many chips in a smart car. From a serious measure now. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that was very unpretty, wasn't it? Here's Farf, he's invalidated his time far fast, so we'll go to the double world champion Grant is now coming down the back straight then. Yeah, can't fit many chips in a smart car. I think when we was talking about Emerson's new wheels then. Just Emerson saying, Ayrton saying I think he's got a mini like I think he's got a mini like he is. Oh, as of course I think Emerson is a bit vertically challenged, isn't he? We've also got as well Bug Volcano meant to say favourite, not favourite then. Don't worry about that, Volcano. I can't even say words, so that's meant to be my evening job, so won't worry about that. Caesar's retired from the session and he is at third fastest at the moment, and Tango is fourth, and Emerson is also retired from the session as well. I wonder if Card might think about coming back out in He's very, I think he's, oh, Grant, he's invalidated his time now, hasn't he? That is, and Grant there showing how difficult it is in the S as well. I think, I was wondering what was coming off the back of the Ferrari rear wing there. I wonder if that was Vortices. Lovely stuff indeed then. But Farfare is into the mini stadium sector as well. Coming into turn 6 there, this double apex right-hander there as well. Full accelerates that into the S as well. Vettel had a nightmare around here in 2015, didn't he? And, but Farfare in this Ferrari, not having but no problems whatsoever as well. DRS right on the minute there from the Ferrari driver now, coming into the stadium sector as well. He's done a 56 for the second intermediate split time as well then, and now then coming into the stadium sector as well then for Farfare as he's going over the curbs there. Farfare, so I thought he's a bit too far over, but Farfare is a professional as always, isn't he? For number 15 out of the final turn then, he goes 6 fast mode. I was talking about Farfare and a bit of a renaissance as of late, and I think I don't think it's really it's really shown in terms of form, not too much. I mean, he got a very good position in for Japan, but yeah, I feel that I think the Farf is very much very improved a bit of his speed as of late then, but maybe I'm the only one that's seeing that perhaps then. So as Rushman is saying, come on, Granty, give Emo a challenge, but then, and Grant there is very much pushing on there. That car looks very unstable through the S's, doesn't it? But he's gone purple in the middle sector. Grant, he's really pushing on, isn't he? Of course, the double world champion. He has been the king of ALR, hasn't he, for the past 2 seasons. This season has been a bit of a difficult one, hasn't it, for Granty? But remember last season, I think he has the record there, the most podiums in a single season of 17, doesn't he? And that is not going to get broken this season. The most podiums anyone's got this season is actually 10 by Emerson. So Granty there, goodness me there, he was very impressive last season, wasn't he, in terms of form, and of course he is the only Williams driver to take a Grand Prix win in ALR as well. Good stuff indeed then. So just watching Farfare, who is just going cross country at the moment, and Diego is back out on circuit as well, as is King Zone as well. And FIFA has joined the session. Welcome FIFA, hope you're having a lovely day. So just watching King Zone as well. So in the relegation zone at the moment, we have Mr. Lee, he's on an outlap. We have King Zone, he's on an outlap as well. Nightwing is also in the relegation zone, but he's doing it very late. I don't think he's coming out the pits. He needs to come out the pits kind of now, really. And he is indeed. No, that's another pink pamphlet. No, I think it is that night. There he is. He's coming out the pits there. But my time is kind of obscure, isn't it? A bit like everything in my life, really, isn't it? It's always a bit obscure. But I keep saying lately as well. Gosh, what's going on? I don't know. I think I got to say a bit of an emotional day, really, isn't it? I must say. So just watching Kingdom coming out of the final turn as well. 40 seconds to go in this qualifying session. Well, probably about a minute, really. So Nightwing's got to get around as well. Mr. Elite, Kingdom and Nightwing kind of get out of qualifying 2 and into qualifying 3. Equals is retired from the session, and I think that Fireshot, Equals, and Diego are going to be very nervous at the moment. But at least Diego is still in it there. And just watching Kingdom there coming out of turn 3 as well. That is going to be the most prominent place for overtaking, I believe, and in this race, and maybe even down here into turn 4 as well. Then and now into the mini stadium section. Well, Raikkonen and Bottas there had a bit of exchange of words there, didn't they? In 2015, and Kingdom then no such trouble at all there. He is the only man on this part of the course. Then Diego's on 2 lap of medium tires. Kingdom has gone to the softs then, and we'll find out what the strategy will be then during the race as well, as I have no earthly idea about strategy. Kingdom there, lovely stuff indeed then, drifting out slightly wide, they're going underneath me as well. Look at that, lovely stuff there, almost touching 2 miles an hour, 200 miles an hour there, going down that short squirt straight then into the stadium sector as well. Of course, we usually have a lot of confetti, don't we, at the end of the race, and I wonder if we're going to get that here tonight as well. Well, we'll have to wait and see then. Of course, that is the big that's going to be the big news tonight, and Kingdom goes 4 fastest, and that should be safely through then. And Nightwing has not made it to the end there, so that's a big blow for Nightwing. He's going to be 14th, and him and Murphy then, it's an all pink 7th row there. Good stuff, well, not good stuff for the Racing Point team, but I do like a bit of a well, it's going to be a bit of a Noah's Ark grid around there, isn't it? Goodness me. So yeah, it's going to be 13th and 14th, and an all pink row on row 7 as well then. So as much as saying I should really be supporting my fellow Racing Point drivers. Well, unfortunately, both your fellow Racing Point drivers are 13th and 14th, but it is not about where you finish in qualifying, it's about where you finish in the race. Equals qualifying as well. Who is going to be joining him? It is going to be as Equals. So Mr. Elite goes through, and he is into qualifying 3 by the skinniest of margins there. Good stuff indeed there from Mr. Elite, and that is perfect, isn't it? from the Racing Point drivers as well. Diego out qualifying, along with Equals, Murphy, Nightwing, and Clarkey. Into qualifying 3 then, it's going to be Mr. Elite, Fireshot, Favre, Alhan, Tango, Caesar, Kingston, Granty, Emerson, and Cartboy. 2 drivers are on the soft tyres, and that is Cart, and that is Kingston as well. Everyone else is on the medium compound tyres then. And goodness me then, so I have a feeling then the medium tyres is probably the best way to go in this race. That's just a... That's just a guess then, but there you go. As we're now going into qualifying 3, then the top 10 are going to go for the shootout. Who's going to be on pole position then for the Mexican Grand Prix? Let's take a look at our previous pole sitters this season, shall we? Granty's had a pole position. We have also had pole position now for Total Peace. He's not in this race tonight then. We've had 3 for Milan as well. For Milan in the Alfa Romeo. Emerson's had 5 pole positions there. Jonathan is had 2 pole positions as well. Murphy has had a pole position, but of course he's not in qualifying 3 either then. Right then, as we're now into the race itself. No, we aren't. We're into qualifying itself, Ben. As we are now 10 seconds into this. This is going to be very good 17 then. Equals saying, well done, Mr. Elite then. As Serious Motion saying they'll be okay. They are both fast in terms of the Racing Point team. Yeah, I think they will be, because both of them are very fine racing drivers as well. And also, I think it was Equals that asked me last week, how do I get the should get the penalties up. I know how to do it now with the expert knowledge of Noel Sears. He had to screenshot me how to do it. So really, I got to say, I didn't realise you could do that, Bill. So, but what made it worse is I actually done it momentarily during the race as well last week. So we will be seeing a lot of penalties, I think. I foresee in this race as well then. You don't have to be Mr. Meg though to see that though, because I think that you have to be inch perfect then. And even in this top sport, there's going to be drivers that are going to be making mistakes there, isn't it? And sometimes you can't be inch perfect all the time, especially when you're going for gold, isn't it? Which is exactly what Emerson's doing here tonight, and what the Renault team are doing here tonight as well. We've got Clark saying definitely a 2-stop, lap 14 and 35 for an optimal pit stop after starting on the medium tyres. So Clark is definitely helping you out there. I'm going to give you a virtual high five then, as good stuff indeed there for Clarky. And so then we're keeping on. I've screenshotted that comment as well. Granty is invalidated some, but do not worry about that. He's on the soft tyres then, because I think that this might be very much similar to the Bahrain weekend we just in there. These soft tyres are going to be only good for a set of qualifiers. Albeit in the race they did much better. Well, Carlos Sainz did a lot better on the soft tyres, didn't they? So yeah, I think that it wasn't as bad as what people made out of it. So we might even see that here tonight in Mexico as well. But we'll find out. Grant's coming out of the final turn then, as he is now starting us off as well. But the DRS is right on the main, just over the finish, over the start line, I should say then. Coming down the start for this straight then. It's a very long drag into turn 1, and I gotta say, I'm looking forward to turn 1. Even though you're gonna be on pole position or the front row, it may not be the most ideal place to start your race, is it? Because there'll be drivers behind slipstreaming, and they're trying to draft you going into turn 1, 2, and 3, and maybe even down this back straight as well. There's gonna be carnage, isn't it? I'm looking forward to that, as we're just going into it as well then, as Liam said, lap 35 is 1 lap before the end, Sean. I blame Clark on that. He said 35 to me. I didn't even ring a bell in my ear either. So that is just appalling, isn't it? Yeah. So of course we do 50% race. This is in ALR, don't we? So it is usually around the 35 lap mark. I'm sure it's lap 30. Isn't there 35 laps around Mexico? Is it 36? But nevertheless, then yes. If you do pit stop 1 lap before the end, then I don't think you will get the most out of those tyres. Having said that, I think Vettel did that in Monza one year, didn't he? Wasn't it like 2010 or something like that, where he went on a set of hard tyres, like all the way from lap 1 all the way to the end of the Italian Grand Prix, or lap 52 out of 53, as Granty goes fastest, and then he pitted for the medium tyres, of course, because that is to adhere to the rules. Emerson has not had a very good first lap, and he's had to come in the pits, hasn't he? What about Kingdom? Lovely over the shoulder shot with Kingdom as well, and out of the final turn in car 94, and Kingdom goes second fastest, and he's on the 14, lovely 17, Tango's gone fastest, in the AlphaTauri, great 17, then is Mr. Elite is gone at full fast as he flies underneath me as well. What about Cart? Well, he's right up in 4th position as well, good 17 then, Mercedes of Alhan in 3rd position then. Alhan's been a great qualifier this season, he really has. Can he get off the grid in the race coming up in a few moments time as well then. So 6 cars are qualified so far. Tango is on pole position then for the Mexican Grand Prix. He has never had pole position before, has he? In his gold career, he's had a podium, but never a pole pole position then. He hasn't had a win either at this moment then. Granty is alongside Monroe 1. Granty's had 1 pole position this season then. But of course that was back in Azerbaijan. Granty's whole pole position, so he's had 7 in total in his career. We've also had Alhan, who is third moment. Carter in 4th position, makes his debut tonight, looking very strong, isn't he? King's Own 5th, Mr. Elite in 6th. Those are the drivers that have set time so far. So Clark is saying that, sorry, 25 Bennett, so there's only 36 laps in the race, and haha. And pit lap is equal saying pit lap 35, and it's game over as well then. And it's Bulky is saying, let me steal that strategy if you don't mind. I would say, Bulky, go with Carton and Liam and Equals. Do not listen to me because that is not the way to run the race around Mexico. But of course, as we did say, Vettel did do it in Monza 2010. Or 12? I think it was 10. But there you go then. As Sarah Special saying, get your own bulky. Goodness me. I gotta say, strategies is a key part of Formula 1 these days, isn't it? And really, I would say that if you don't have a good strategy, you're not going too far around the race then. I should know. Oh, it's a fire shot there. Had to turn out of the corner there. He has lost an awful amount of time now. And that's not good at all for fire shot, is it? So, yeah, he's going to be a bit disappointed with that. Then he was turning it a bit too sharply, wasn't it? I wonder if he was expecting a bit of understeer from the McLaren, but he really didn't get it, did he? No, he didn't at all. But yeah, strategy is a very important part of Formula 1, isn't it? And as I was saying, I should know then, because I've got a pole in strategy and tires, all that kind of jazz. Bring back refueling, I say, and then just refuel to half the race and then go on the and then just fill it back up then. Of course, I'm thinking that there has been arguments for bringing refueling back, but I gotta say, I do quite like the tire situation of Formula 1 at the moment, and it's probably the best way to do pit stops in F1 at this stage of this stage of proceedings. Fireshot has gone to full fast. That's a very good lap there from Fireshot. Farf's out on circuit spot. Emerson's also started this lap, and he's a bit on the back burner at the moment, isn't he? And let's see, he's now accelerating out of turn 6. Car 15 is of a Farfen. So we're on board Farfen. He's had 44 points in the this season. Honestly, Farf has. I think his best season was definitely season 2 as well. Look at that. I think he accumulated 113 points, didn't he, in season 2? Farf did, but I think Farf, a veteran of ALR now, I think he's the second most experienced driver on the grid, isn't he? So absolutely brilliant 17th there from Farf, but he has overtaken Nigel, hasn't he, over the last couple of races, and with Nigel unfortunately been able to not make the last couple of gold races, which is such a shame, isn't it? Farf comes across the line, he goes 6th fast in front of his teammate by 2/10 of a second a moment. What about the man who's in the World Championship moment? It is Emerson there coming out the SSN. Fireshot is currently just cruising back to the pits as well. 5 minutes to go in this session then. Emerson's going to cut it very tight then if he wants to get out and do another lap as well. Fireshot is just in front of us as well then. We're coming through the stadium sector as well. Lovely over the shoulder shot from Emerson as well, as he is now coming into 16 and 17 as well. Out of the Paratada or Nigel Mansell, depending on what era you watch it. And he's on pole position there. And that'll be a 6th pole position of his season so far. He's been absolutely immaculate in qualifying lately, Emerson has. And of course, he's really got that one lap pace really nipped in the bud, hasn't he? He's 2/10 a second in front of Tango in 2nd position at the moment. And this is absolute perfection for Emerson going into tonight's very crucial race. But having said that, he does have 2 rounds to go. If he doesn't do the job tonight, then of course, so keep an eye on that. And it's not all or nothing, is it, in this race? And Farf is, I thought Farf was going to go for it again, and he was quite quick on the first sector, then, but the second sector was not so quick, was he? So coming down the back straight, and here comes Cart. He's 400 a second there, down on the first minute split time, but he's invalidated his time. Now, of course, you can tell by that because on the right hand side of the screen is the track map as well. And I've got to get my hairband out on it again then, because this hair keeps getting in my way at the moment then. So that's not good, is it? And unfortunately, with all this lockdown going on, actually we're coming out of lockdown, aren't we? I think we're in tier 2 now, so this good stuff indeed then. So if anyone ever wants to go to the pub, I suggest you buy a plate of chips and make sure that you do need that last trip until you're 10 points in. Of course, don't do that and take it very seriously indeed then, because I certainly am, but and especially as I'm going to have to get my hair cut in a couple of weeks, and so hopefully the hair dresses is back up as well. Serious version there is Emerson is just showing off now, isn't he? Cart coming out of the final corner, and I think he's going to come into the pits. Indeed he is said. He has got 3 minutes, well he's got about 4 minutes then to go, hasn't he? Car comes to the pits, and there's no one out on track at the moment. So as you can see, then there's the Haas team just getting ready to receive Cart. There he is, and Emerson just being on the dolly wheels and back into the pit as well. As Caesar has retired from the session there. Of course, Caesar did have a qualifying free ban, so a bit late on in the day there, Caesar. Of course, when you get a qualifying ban, you must retire. You must, of course, retire from the session as well. Then, so you don't get any unfair advantage and all that kind of jazz and stuff like that. Which you might be able to, you might not. It does kind of depend on what Cold Masters feels like at the time. So we've got 3 minutes to go now. As you can see, the track is absolutely bustling. I've got to say, I'm expecting a bit of a queue then going into the final couple of minutes or so in this qualifying session. Then it feels like a bit old school for qualifying, doesn't it? Really, remember those hour-long sessions where it was for the first 20-30 minutes, Murray Walker and Martin Brundle were just talking about kind of what was going on in Formula 1 during the couple of weeks, really, wasn't it? Back before the interweb and all that kind of new technology, wasn't it? No, I quite enjoyed that qualifying session. I would sit and listen to Murray Walker and Martin Brundle all day, and to be honest, I kind of like put a race on, dropping off to sleep. It's absolutely soothing, those voices, aren't it? Absolutely beautiful stuff. Diggins is saying, has Nightwing managed to finish a race yet? Let's take a look, shall we, at my Yoda stat board. Unfortunately not then, as Nightwing's had 2 DNFs then in Russia and Japan then, so that was unfortunate there for Nightwing, but hopefully he can put that to bed here tonight then, and so fingers crossed there for Nightwing. He can get off the board then in terms of points. He starts 13th here tonight as well then. Equal say Nightwing has yet to score a point. Hopefully today is the day as well. So yeah, a lot of cheers then for Nightwing today, including me as well. Of course, I'm not biased by any stretch of imagination, but I'd love to see Nightwing get off the mark with some points. Like Tango at the moment, then, who, of course, who's only had 9 races in ALR this season, hasn't he? But I think when he has scored, he has scored quite dramatically as well. He got 2nd position in Singapore, brilliant drive from Singapore, and he also got some major points haul in the British Grand Prix as well, didn't he, Tango? So he's only scored twice, Tango, as this season, but he's had a lot of technical gremlins, hasn't he? So hopefully he can put that to bed then, and have a solid final couple of races in the AlphaTauri, because AlphaTauri needs him, don't they? Because of that big old battle for third in the Constructors' Championship, of course, that is there. As Equal saying, good luck tomorrow for much from that Boki Volcano. When Clarky was behind me, I didn't realise he was there, and then went off the track to let him by then. Don't worry about that volcano then, of course, then even the professional drivers did that over the years. There's been so many free place penalties and things like that, but Clarkey has got through the qualifying too, so no harm, no foul, I would say, possibly. So Tango comes out of the final turn, now the Nigel Mansell turn to start his lap then with and I thought there was a random red ball like in the middle of the circuit, and the track map just really threw me off then, but no, it's Caesar in the pits, and we've got 9 cars then for qualifying for top 10 then. Who's going to be on pole position then, and who is going to be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th then? Well, we're going to find out now, because we already know who 10th position is as well then, as he's coming down the back straight then. So everyone's saying thanks, Equals. You two tonight, mate, as well. Well, Equals out of qualifying at the moment, but don't worry about that. You do not get points in qualifying, do you? Get them in the race as well. That is the main event here tonight. That is the beauty about league racing as well, isn't it? Where, of course, we don't have to wait a whole day for qualifying and the race set. We can just get on it and get it done then, can't we? As we're on board with Tiger at the moment, and the checker flag has fallen then. So this is the 9 cars that are going for qualifying, are going for pole position as well. We're on board with Tango. He has never been on pole position before in his career. He's a 10th for a second up in the second intermediate split time on his personal best. So of course he's in the ballpark for the pole position that Emerson has got at the moment out of the stadium sector as well, then going over the outside curve. Lovely jubbly indeed then out of the final turn then, as he is hugging the inside line. Then there's the shortest route to the finish line. He is on pole position by 2/10 of a second at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. We've got Mr. Lee. He is on 4/10 of a second up, almost half a second up in the second intermediate split time. King's Owen Farf are going to be looking over their shoulder. Both the Ferraris are going to be very concerned. Mr. Lee has got an important job here tonight. He is 7th fast at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. Farshaw is 5th at the moment. Farshaw is now 4th at the moment then. What about Cartes? Oh, he's invalidated his time. He is in the pits. And Emerson and his pole position, he's been knocked off his perch. Can he get back on his perch? He can indeed, with a pole position again then for Emerson. And he is lowered the bar. Kingzo in the pits and Farf is staying out as well. Farf out of the final turn and Farf goes 5th fastest then. Good stuff indeed then. Alhan out of the final final turn. I think Granty's had a problem, and Alhan goes third fastest. Granty is out of qualifying. He is in fourth position, and Emerson is on pole position for the sixth time this season, and brilliant stuff for Emerson. Oh, and again another pole position as well for Emerson. He is he's absolutely stupendous this season, isn't he? Of course, that was his Achilles heel, wasn't it, in the previous seasons, but not this season. He has now racked up 10 pole positions in his career. Fantastic stuff for Emerson. He has now got the full 10. He's got the full house at the moment, and I think he's only one pole position now behind Jonathan, if I'm not very much mistaken. And indeed he is. Jonathan does have the most pole positions in gold history, and Emerson there is now only one away. Jonathan's had that record since season 2, if I'm not very much mistaken. Brilliant stuff indeed there for Emerson, and he is on pole position, and that is where he needs to start, and good stuff indeed then. Bulky was saying, and Tanga's on pole position then. Well, it was a great luck from Tanga, it really was indeed then, but Emerson now lowered the bar there by another 2, almost 3 times there. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Pillar saying Emerson coming in so clutch first. Part of the first part of the job is done there. Get in, Emerson there. Great stuff indeed. It is, yeah, first part of the job is done then, but this is the most hardest part, I feel there. Usually in Monaco that's 50% of the job done. Not tonight then, is it? It's very easy to slip through and overtake, isn't it? Especially on the first start then, and safety cars as well. How prominent are safety cars around here? Well, the barriers of, well, I would say that they're probably, I expect 1 or 2 perhaps then, but they're not exactly, it's not exactly nailed on, is it? Right, as we get into the race as well then, and here we go then for the start then of the Mexican Grand Prix then. As we've already mentioned, tonight is all about the championships, isn't it? Constructors for Renault perhaps then, and maybe the Drivers' Championship as well for Emerson. And that is what we're all going to be thinking about, I'm sure of it. And pile up for the last run madness as well there for Granty as well. And so hopefully that's what Granty will be hoping for. And of course, as we need, as maybe he might need something unusual, or perhaps he's got better race pace, of course. We don't see the practice sessions that the drivers do then, so Granty might have a much better race setup than qualifying setup, of course, but then again it might be the same for Emerson as well, but who knows in this race, and that is the beauty about live sport, isn't it? And it is coming up right in a few minutes as well then. Vintage is saying good luck all drivers there, as first class as usual there from Emerson, and a really good 17. Volcano also needs to relax as well, as of course Volcano there starting his first race in gold, isn't he? So good luck to Volcano as well, as we are now getting ready for the formation lap. And once again then we have a Renault on pole position there for the 6th time this season, for the 10th time in his career as well. Bulky's already been disqualified from the session there, so hats off to Bulky there. Good stuff. I don't even know how he's done it. He didn't even move where Bulky Volcano was. That's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? We had a big smash out of the we had a very good race of silver last season, didn't we? It was brilliant stuff indeed there. We had a big old smash in the on the start line, but after that it was absolutely pristine, wasn't it? Yes, it is 36 laps and not 35, and do not pit on lap 35 unless something's majorly gone wrong, hasn't it? As Liam is saying there, top class from the front 2 set for a good scrap, then good luck Emerson as well. It's Bulky Volcano accidentally released the throttle there. Alright then, pole position then is Emerson. That's his 10th pole position of his career, his 6th pole position of the season there. That has just shown how incredible. In the last 2 seasons he's only had 4 pole positions. This season there he is racked up 6 alone. Absolutely magnificent, isn't it? Tango's alongside him on row 1. That is Tango's best race finish as well as second there. Can he stay there? Can he win his first race? And Alhan won his first race last time out. He's had some problems off the line in the last couple of races there. Has he put that to bed here tonight? He is third there. Granty in 4th position there. Can he keep the championship alive and going into Interlagos in a week's time there? As long as he keeps it alive, anything can happen in the world of Grand Prix racing there. Firesort in 5th position. 6th position is Farf. Great to see Farf right up there as well. Cart is 7th position there on soft tires. Oh, is Emerson's disqualified, and Tanguas as well. 8th position is Mr. Lee on medium tires. 9th is Kingdom, he's on soft tires. 10th position is Caesar, as of course he had a qualifying ban. Diego in 11th position. 12th position is Equals. Diego on soft. Equals on medium. Murphy on soft tires in 14th. Nightwing hasn't scored a point. Come on, Nightwing, he's in 15th. 16th position is Clarkey. We're expecting the big stripes from Clarkey later on then. Gunnar is 17th position on the soft tires. 16th. 17th is Bulky. FIFA on the medium tires, and the Red Bull is 18th. 13th then. And here we go then. The top 4 were, the top 6 were on the medium compound tires as well then. Right then, calm before the storm then. There's a lovely shot there of, I don't know what that was then. And here we go then as well then. So the lights are on then. And of course, we'll be going in just a few moments as well then. So there are the revs then. And here we go for Mexico. It is... go! And it's a good start there for Emerson. Look at the wheel spin there. Brilliant stuff. I think the Tango cut tuts in straight away there. Granty's already on the inside there. There's free press up behind Emerson. And look at this there. There's slipstreaming going down somewhere. Granty's up in the second. He's had an amazing start. He's got a lunge on the inside. He is lunging on the inside. Oh, goodness me. And there's the 2 championship rivals come to blows. But Granty leads then. It was all or nothing then coming out turn 1. Granty leads. Second position is Emerson. Tango in third position. Fourth position is Farshot. Alhan dropping down to 5th bend once again there. Struggling to start him, but that's much better than what he's had in the last couple of races. Cards is now up in the 5th position there on the outside of Alhan then. As I look at this, they're getting very tight in the infield section here then. Carty is on the inside then as well. As Tango got damaged, I don't think he has. I just had a funny shot there. Look at him, it's a stream passer as well. Carty's up 4 positions. Goodness me. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed then. We had the side-by-side action. Look at them coming through the S's as well. Absolutely stunning stuff indeed then. Caesar 9 feet quals 10th and Clark in 11th position. Mr. Lee has dropped down at 4 positions. Had a nightmare start. Mr. Lee as well, and Dan Murphy also dropping down to 8th position. Bulky going very well then, but Granty leads and he's got 3 positions there. A bit of a lunge going into turn 1 there, but he leads this race at the moment, and that's what he needs to do then. Emerson has gone from pole position down second of all, then Kingzo has dropped down the order. We've also got Tango then. Oh, look at this, as Nightwing and Kingzo are fighting then as they come through to complete a lap 1 here in Mexico then. Oh gosh, there, and I've got to say that was a very incredible start and action-packed all the way up and down and brilliant stuff indeed there. As I look at this, there's that Kingzone FIFA and Murphy there is also keeping a close eye as well as Emerson is taking the lead then. Emerson is taking the lead then, and that's a McLaren off. Farshaw has gone off the circuit. And oh goodness me, then Farshaw has gone off the circuit. They're trying to recover the car. And look at this as well, we've got Gooner and then Schooner, and one of the racing points is Murphy as well. Farshaw has damaged the car. Look, there's Granty on our rear as well, but Emerson leads the Mexican Grand Prix. Granty in second position and third position is Cart. What a brilliant start for Cart now. We've got Tango dropping down the order. Tango's got some major issues there because look at Caesar, but look at this, the bagging wheels are out of turn 6. Goodness me, Tango is really struggling. There's a problem there. He's down 6 positions. Tango has said, what is going on with the AlphaTauri? He has damaged the wing. He has damaged the wing in the AlphaTauri. Oh goodness gracious me, that's not good at all. I know this is a Clarky. His teammate is all over the back of him as well. Fire shot, what a shame. He's dropped down 12 positions as well, and Tango's dropped down another position. He's dropping right down the order there as well. Ferrari, and who's that? That's Nightwing now. He's gone the inside of the Ferrari of Kingdom has run wide then, and these two are still battling. And now then Kingdom has the oh goodness me, they're banging wheels, they're scraping wheels as well. And oh gosh, there, and look at this. There's a Kingdom and Nightwing now have come to blows, haven't they? And now then Nightwing dropped down the order as well. Look into the pits comes Tango as well. And Tango dropping down the order, and so is Murphy as well. Murphy's in the pits. Emerson leads the race. Second position is oh goodness me! Now going up the inside, Diego as he slots up. He's past Alhan and moves up into fourth position then. And Alhan dropping down to fifth position. Equals got a 3-second penalty at the moment as well. So Dan is coming in pits. It was a change of wing then from the racing point driver. He's coming out now. Then we've also got Tango out of the pits. Well, those two are going to have to really start to have a good performance there from the back of the grid. They might need safety cars. I think Tango's also got a penalty somewhere along the line as well. Just watching Farshot. He hasn't damaged the car, Farshot hasn't, but he's now right out of the right out of position, isn't he? Now then, as Emerson has got clear air, hasn't he? Goodness gracious me, absolutely, well, that was wild. Just as Sarah Smasher said that. Goodness gracious me, Emerson leads and he's on course to become the world champion of ALR at the moment. Granty is second and Carty's in third position there. Diego in fourth position. The Haas team now were bottom of the constructors up until last race in America. They are now third and fourth. Can they stay there? We got a bit of a queue as far from Caesar and Clark in there are all over the back of each other. DRS is now going to be enabled at the end of this saboteur. Equals in ninth position. Good stuff indeed. Mr. Lee has recovered somewhat. He's now back up into 10th position as well as we come down the back straight as well. No, it's the start for this straight, isn't it? And going into turn 1 as well. Lovely shot here from the nose cone of Clarky. And there is DRS. And so at the moment we've got a bit of a DRS train for him. Bulky's got a 5-second penalty as as he is now coming into the pits as well. And look at these penalties already running on lap 4 then, and we've accumulated at least 5 penalties, maybe even 6 then, as now Caesar is trying to defend. Then Clarkey on an amazing start through the field. He has gone up 7 positions already. Diego also going up 7 positions as well. Absolutely fine starts indeed for both those drivers. Lovely jubbly indeed. Grant had an amazing start, didn't he? And I think that he was just threw it down the inside into turn 1, didn't he? And but unfortunately he unfortunately just didn't have the pace to stay where he is at the moment. But that might be well, goodness me, but that might come back later on. There's Fire Shot and King Zone are batting away as well. King Zone is on the soft tires, all soft runners and for both Haas teams, for the Ferrari and for Gunnar as well. Also Bulky has also got on the soft tires as well. King Zone is struggling at the moment, isn't he? And now we've got Clarkey and Caesar. Oh goodness me, now Clarkey and Caesar are still in the up position now as King Zone is on the inside. He's going to run around wide, then Fire Shot that is getting, oh my goodness me, up the inside there in to the stadium sector as well. And it's Kings over there has been half spun there. He has dropped down the order as of course Fire Shot is never shy. Diego has gone through and up into third position there. Cart is dropping down to 4th in the second half set. But once again the Haas team are looking very good indeed then. Brilliant stuff as we go down into turn 1. Clarkey has he gone past? Oh, he's locking up the inside there, but Clarkey is through up into 7th position. He's had a fine race at the moment now. Clarkey is there, and I think that the front runners are going to get very nervous of Clarkey later on in this race, isn't he? Because he is a very quick racing driver, isn't he? So it's not all done and dusted yet, is it? There's still a long way to go in this Grand Prix. Fireshot's got past FIFA as well, and there he is now. He's up in the top position. Fireshot is looking very strong in the sole McLaren here. It's not there. Unfortunately, Jonathan is not very well, and he's not participating in this race. Fire Shot then in 12th position, and FIFA in 13th position then at the moment. And it's Gunnar there is still hanging on to the back there quite nicely indeed then. Clarkey's next target, he's flying up through the field. We're on lap 5 already. He's gone from 15th to 7th in the space of 5 laps. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. He's having a lunch there. Caesar's got a 3-second penalty as well. Look at all those penalties lined up on the left hand side tower, and I think we're now up to 7 if I'm not very much mistaken. Incredible stuff there, as of course this was going to be a penalty driven track there, wasn't it? So can Alhan, of course, remember last week there it was about penalties, wasn't it? So we're now on board then, as now Clarkey is within DRS range as well, and as he is gaining on the Ferrari of Farf. Is Farf looks like he's harvesting as well, but Clarkey is alongside Farf. He passes him, moves up into 6th position as well. Farf has to yield and drop down 2nd position as well. Nightwing is gone up into 10th position there, so Nightwing there is flown back up the field there. He is now back in up to 10th position as well from car 14. Lovely stuff indeed then from Nightwing, and there he is then, just looking under the trees. Brilliant stuff indeed. Now Farf is under siege, and isn't he? Look at Equals, he's having a great race out there at the moment in the Alfa Romeo, isn't he? He's in 9th position, and Equals this as we come through the double right-hander of the hairpin. Lovely stuff, and as we're now going into the SN, Emerson's got a 2.3 second advantage over Grant at the moment, but Grant, he has a good advantage over Diego in 3rd position and Cart in 4th fed. Alhan then, as I just in serious motion saying that Alhan is lurking, he really is at the moment. Clarkey has now been in 6th position then, and I think all the front runners are going to be quite surprised to see Clarkey right up there so quickly. Farf in 7th position, and we're on board with Caesar in 8th position, and 9th is Equals. Nightwing in 10th position. Mr. Lee is just outside the points in 11th position then, as it stands at the moment then. On board the Red Bull as it stands at the moment, and Renault will also be the Constructors' Champions. We got 2, of course, FIFA needs to also getting the points as well to stop Renault from clinching the Constructors here tonight as well. That is for all the marbles here tonight as well. Farfar is going to be starting to go to the fence. Grant has got a 3-second penalty, and he's the first of the top 6 runners as a penalty then. Grant outside he is trying to push on them, but it's a great start from Grant, wasn't it? Through it down the inside then. Brilliant stuff indeed there, as of course he doesn't want to give up his championship without a fight. And that was certainly bold, wasn't it, from the double world champion? Really good stuff indeed then. Farf dropping down to 8th position now. He's lost 2 positions in the last couple of laps there as well. Gunnar now is starting to defend them from Kingzo. Kingzo is in 50th position. He had a half spin, didn't he, when him and Farshot come to blows. Tango is at 17 seconds away with Murphy, also 3 seconds behind as well. And then Bulky Volcano currently in 18th position moment. Tango has got a 3-second penalty as well. Look at these penalties starting to go. Alhan, I can't believe it. Alhan has got a penalty as well then. Goodness me. And I wasn't expecting to say that tonight then, was it? But Alhan has got a penalty then in the Mercedes as well. But he's in fifth position about now. Second behind Card, but a second in front of Clarkey. Well, Clark though is coming now, isn't he? He is coming in. As we've got Kingdom now going up the inside. They're going into the stadium sector as well. Kingdom is now up into 14th position as well on the soft tires. How long are these soft tires going to last then? Young Light is saying, come on, Emerson. There he is at the man who is leading this race about in 3 seconds in front. As just taking a look then, Alhan is now, well, it looks like I didn't think he was using DRS then, but he is in DRS range now, isn't he? And we got Favre and Caesar also in 7th and 8th position at the moment there as well. Gunnar has got back past Kingdom. He has indeed there. Gunnar has in the Williams there, as he is defending from Kingdom. Good overtake there from Gunnar. Brilliant stuff indeed there. As I look at this, as we're on board then with the Williams there, looking back, and Kingdom there is very much underneath the rear wing as well, but it's Gunnar who has the DRS, and the DRS activation line is way back before the Nigel Mansell turn, and now then is Kingdom at the inside and passes the Williams, but Gunnar has the inside there. Oh, it's a pinch point, and Kingdom there putting a lot of faith in Gunnar there, wasn't it? But of course Gunnar, a veteran of the sport now, isn't he? He would not have crashed into Kingdom there. I have no doubt about that. Good stuff indeed there for Kingdom. Lovely stuff there. Oh my goodness me. We got Card who is now starting to struggle, isn't he? Because Alhan is all over the back of him. And now we got Clark as well. So we got a 3-car battle at the moment. And it's very good. It's quite bunched up at the moment. I'm loving this. And Card is into the pits. And so he's the first round of the soft tires to blink then. And now then, as we're just on board then, Clarkey is up into a fantastic 5th position. I'm looking forward to seeing what he could do next season. They're absolutely brilliant, isn't it? How Clarkey is performing. I want to see him in a full season against Emerson, against Granty, against Alhan, against Farf, against Caesar. I want to see all these drivers there having a full season in ALR Gold next season, because these guys are absolutely incredible, isn't it? It's a really good flurry of drivers, isn't it? Lovely shot here from the back of Clarkey. Now Speller, we're on board with Alhan as well. Clarkey having a look there, but Alhan there, locking up the inside front there. We had a lot of good fighting there back in 2016 between Verstappen, Ricardo and Vettel, didn't we? And really enjoyed that Grand Prix. It was really good at the end there, wasn't it? Clarkey then back on board with him, and 2-time Grand Prix winner, isn't he? And he's been, I think that he's been brilliant, hasn't he, since stepping into ALR. He's been fantastic, hasn't he? We're on board with him now as well. Gunnar's got a 3-second penalty at the moment then. So Gunnar now, I think he had a penalty before, didn't he, if I'm not very much mistaken. Diego hasn't got any penalties yet then, so look at this, and almost all of the grid has got penalties, apart from Fireshot. Kingdom doing a great job, Cart and Dan as well, and of course at the front end is Emerson, who's now got a 4-second deficit there. He is almost out of that critical undercut window, isn't he? Sorry, I got distracted. There we go. I had something in my eye there. And now then, Clarkey then is now coming from underneath the rear wing of Alhan. He passes Clarkey. No, he doesn't. He passes Alhan and moves up into 4th position. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Emerson is now almost out of the undercut window, isn't he? He's 4.2 seconds in front. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed then from Emerson. I gotta say, this is a well-controlled race at the moment. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it, from Emerson? And I feel that he's always had the speed, but now I feel that he's got the mentality, isn't he? Really good stuff indeed then. Very much Lewis Hamilton-esque. He had the speed, didn't he? But sometimes he did question some of his antics. Well, not antics, I'd say. Question some of the decisions that went on during the race then. But I think Emerson this season now, his qualifying was definitely questionable, wasn't it? I think it was his Achilles heel. This season he's had 6 pole positions there. Before this season he only had 4 pole positions there. He's almost doubled his account there from Emerson. And oh goodness me, since then he's been absolutely critical, hasn't he? Been brilliant stuff indeed. He's been box office this season, Emerson has there, and at the moment he's doing everything he needs to do there. He's been very relaxed, I think, coming into this race as well there. I think he's not changed any of his routines at all, and at the moment there he is head and shoulders there above everyone else in this Mexican Grand Prix. But I think that Clarkey is going to be a man that's going to be definitely on Emerson's radar. It's 8 seconds to gap his motor. He's looking very fast indeed, isn't he? Granty, the first of the medium shod runners coming into the pits there. So the medium tires only lasting 10 laps from Granty then. So I wonder if Granty must have had some issues there on that opening stint there. But he's coming out of the pits now then, and he is so he's out in that 10th position there as well. No, he will be 10th now. As FIFA just passes by him. Kingdom in 11th position. Well, Kingdom doing a great job on those soft tires, isn't he? Carty in 12th position as well. Diego, his teammate, has just come up behind, and there's just a example of the undercut then, and Gruner in 14th position as well then. back at the front, and here he is, and it's Emerson at the moment, then looking very strong, isn't he? As we look down as well, absolutely impeccable driving, isn't he, from Emerson at the moment there. Of course, we have got a lot of attention, haven't we, on Emerson tonight then, because of course we know what's at stake going from the Renault driver as well then. Of course, he's even with the company car there, which I think is in his garage at the moment, he's looking absolutely splendid, isn't he? And hopefully he might upgrade from a Clio to a Renault Megane then, as he comes out of the final turn. But Clarkey, I think, might be the man that's would definitely put the maybe the championship elect under siege a bit here, because Clarkey is looking fantastic, and that just underlines it as well. The gap is at the moment there 6.9 seconds. He's come through the field absolutely effortlessly, hasn't he, Clarkey? He's been brilliant. And they're just taking a look as well as the two Haas boys are going out closer, as Diego is on the soft tyres there, and Cards has gone on to the medium tyres one. So Diego's gone for soft to start off this race then. So interesting stuff indeed then, as he comes out of he comes out the final turns are on board now then, and look at this, that is King's up there, it's defended. Oh, I thought he was going to come across there, but Cartes are through, so is Diego as well. Look at this, as Diego's now going to challenge his teammate. Remember, Haas was third and fourth before this, and he's landed up the inside as well. Oh, but Card there going on the outside, then good stuff. But look at this, as Diego has kept the inside run, he's up into 11th position as well, and I think that might be good for Haas, because he's on the soft tyres, isn't he? And potentially the soft tyres are going to be quicker at this stage of proceedings as well. Look at this, as Kingzo going on the outside then, but Card has got the has got the high ground actually so far. No retirements on lap 12. Absolutely, I tip my hat off to you, good sirs. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Kingzo is doing an absolutely mammoth stint there on the soft tyres, doing a really good job as well. Unfortunately, he's now starting to drop down the order slightly, but we'll see. We'll see how he does in just a few moments as well. Then, look at this, he's going underneath the rear wing as well. Just taking a quick look at the moment. Serious Mushroom is saying there everything is in Emerson's favour as well. Then, just taking a look, then, is on board with Granted, and I'll come back to those comments in just a few moments there. As a fire shot there is really strong into the pits. There comes Equals and fire shot as well. That has allowed Granted there to put. Oh, goodness me! And here's Nightwing then. Nightwing has got something to prove, hasn't he? Because he hasn't scored any points. Oh my word! Then the back of the stake and out. Banging wheels then, and I've got to say bumper cars. Oh my word there, as Nightwing is now in the fourth position there. Very robust for both those two drivers there, and Caesar's not a happy bunny about that at all. He's waving from left to right there. He's not warming up those tyres there, as he is saying that he's saying Nightwing. That was very crude of you then, but Nightwing is through up into fourth position, and Caesar has dropped down into fifth position then, and just wanted Connor then said commentator is V good then as well. I always have to read out the positive comments about me, because it just really makes me very happy. We have got serious person saying Gunnar is too fast for gold then, so we might have to have a premium class there, a platinum class there for Gunnar in the not too distant future as well. But at the moment Gunnar is down in 17th position at the moment now. He was having some good old scraps, so wasn't he, up until where he's came in the pit. So keep an eye on Gunnar. He might come back to this race later on then. Ayrton saying, come on bro. Becca's asking if Ayrton is driving. Serious person saying that Ayrton's doing the chippy deliveries at the moment then. And look at this then as well then, as Caesar has dropped down to fifth position. He comes into the pits, that's why then, as we've also got he's on the soft tyres, and this is interesting. Granted, he's at the fast lap of the race so far then, as of course he needs to outscore Emerson by 5 points, doesn't he? And this is not happening at the moment, is it? So look at this, as he is coming out of the pit. Caesar is good stuff indeed there. Equals Zolo, the back of Tango. Tango's done 10 laps on those hard tyres. Remember that Tango had to come in early in the pits, didn't he? Look at this, that is now Equals back in 10th position. Equals had a very strong race, isn't he? As in the back end of the season, I feel Equals has really been impressive in the Alfa Romeo there, hasn't he? Very good stuff indeed then. And he is up into 10th edition as well. Lovely stuff. Tango dropping down to 11th at the moment then, as we just got Pillar saying immense drawing for Emerson under pressure tonight with the title in his grasp. Said, well, we've already spoken, haven't we, about Emerson. He's just been absolutely as cool as a cucumber, hasn't he, in the lead up to this race as well. They're just doing his usual shtick there with memes and things like that. He hasn't changed his approach whatsoever, has he? And a really good sum deed there for Emerson at the moment now. He's in the pits and the championship lead at the moment now. We're on board then, and Renault might also be a part of the team celebration, be a part of the celebration start if they win the team's championship, the constructors of course. And Clark also coming in the pit as well. He's my driver of the day so far, Clark is, of how he's coming through the field. They're all on soft tyres. Interesting stuff indeed then. And also in the pits as well comes Nightwing. Nightwing there is also on a good old scrub, but he's on the hard tyres. Nightwing is interesting stuff then, as Alhan is in fifth position as well. Look at this, there's Diego then under the The Granty leads now by 4 seconds. So Granty's done the undercut. He has got he's got 3 laps older tyres then, and Diego also locking up, trying to stop that car as best as he can then. Goodness me, and he's on treating those tyres very kindly, isn't he? So I expect another stop then around the course. We've already mentioned Clark. He's already said that it's a 2-stop race, isn't it? But I think we've got a couple of deviants of strategy here, haven't we? Nightwing on the hard tyres for one, and Farshall also on the hard tyres as well then. So keeping very interesting, isn't it? As Serious Mushroom is saying the Kingdom was trying the one stop as well. As Bulky saying I didn't speed, as he's not a very happy man with the game at the moment. Ayrton saying I can't do deliveries, I would eat all the chips by the time I get there. So I would have said, Ayrton, I'm disappointed in you. I would have made sure I started off with the fish first, my good man, the fish. So just watching Emerson there as he's coming to the stadium section as well. We're just keeping on what Caesar could do at the moment. And Alhan is right in the grasp now of Caesar as well. It's in 7th position. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying this race at the moment. It's brilliant stuff, isn't it? It feels very much on tipping point, isn't it? It's about strategy here tonight and not making sure you don't do any mistakes. I'm absolutely loving this race at the moment. As now we got the 2 horses there swapping positions. No, listen, I'm completely wrong now. It is actually the AlphaTauri getting past Diego, and Diego is now down into 4th position there. The other horse of a cart has gone on to the medium tires, hasn't he? He's dropped back to almost 4 seconds at the moment. Alhan is under siege once again from Caesar as they go down the back straight as well then. And so just watching then, Serious person saying Kingdom going to try 21 laps on medium tyres then. So Kingdom there is now coming, the pits are on the medium tyres as well. Kingdom is look at this, now Caesar going up the inside, passes Alhan and up into 6th position. Good stuff indeed there. I mean, this is great, isn't it? Absolutely fine stuff indeed there. Farf has got no penalties, nor is Dan Eva, and nor is Emerson now. Sorry, I just had a bit of sweat like drip down my back. Caesar is now up in the 6th position there. Good stuff indeed there. But Emerson, I got to say that under the immense pressure, he's not got any penalties whatsoever. Nor is Farf either. I got to say, good stuff indeed there from Farf. Absolutely lovely. Yeah, Farf does have a couple of penalties. He has been knocked down a couple of positions. That's it. It's Emerson set the fast out the race. He's resetting the Mexican track on fire. We got a first instant. It's Farshall. Farshall is out, and we got a virtual safety car. And I think it's coming at a bad time for anyone who wants to go in the pits. So I think that all the strategies have been done, haven't they? And I say Big James, well, I almost said that Cart has coming to the pit side as well. But unfortunately, where is that Farshall then? Because he looks like he went off and won the S's in quite a big way. Cart is using this virtual safety car because to say you have to decrease your speed by 40%, don't you? So Cart will be quicker in the pits as well then. So Murphy's up in 60th position. He's on a bit of a poor race at the moment. And Mr. Elite coming in the pits as well, but I think he might not have got all of that virtual safety car. He's down into 13th position now. Mr. Elite is at this stage of proceedings then. Farfair is very close to the back. Have we got a as that was one of the Mercedes getting lapped there, as Bulky is just having a couple of issues at the moment, and look, Farf is diving down the inside past the Equals, but he's gone wide then, but that is the advance of going wide there. As Equals having to steer out of that at the moment now, and so far, Andre position, and that's the advice for to go wide in turn 5. Don't know, it's a Farshall's up for session now, and a bit of a nightmare race. Farshall was he is out of the race, so he's the first retiree in this race. As far, good. I thought he was going, back to front there, as I thought he was going to spin there. Just taking a look then. This is the battle for the lead. Then it is Grant, it is Emerson. It's the 2 championship protagonists for the last 2 seasons, and even 3 seasons as well with this season. But I feel that Emerson has had the edge this season, hasn't he? But over the past 2 seasons it has been Grant, hasn't it? And these two have been battling away the last 2 seasons, and we haven't seen much of these two together on the track over the course of this season, have we? But Emerson there is doing like a freight train, hasn't he? Just gaining, and he has got a 5.5 second lead over Clarkey. Clarkey is really starting to eat into this lead at the moment, isn't he? So Emerson can't afford to hang around at the moment now, because Clarkey is in the facility, isn't he? And really good stuff indeed then. As Becca is really excited about this battle between Emerson and Grant at the moment. We're on board as we've got Cart, who's just got past FIFA and up to 11th position now, just outside the points. Gunner's also just dropped down into 14th position there, with Kingzone up into 13th position then as well then. Pillar's saying this, he reckons that this could end in tears as well then, as these are the 2 championship protagonists but it looks like everyone's got too much at the moment on it. And Becca saying technically, secretly, that's why it's exciting then. It could be, couldn't it? But of course, we're all hoping for a clean fight, and I'm sure it will be, as Emerson coming out of the final turn as well. And of course, these two have been in the wars happening together there for the past 3 seasons, haven't they, in ALR? I've absolutely enjoyed it. But here tonight then, it's Emerson, it's Granty then, it's Emerson, it's breezed past Granty. He takes the lead then. Granty down in second position then. So Granty unfortunately dropping down the order. He's down into second, and in the Williams as well. Alhan there is keeping Caesar in his wheel tracks moment. There's Nightwing. He is 4 seconds back at the moment then. He is on the hard tire then, so let's see what the hard tire runners can do then. King's Zone there is going to try and tippy toe around on those medium tires as well then, as just on board then with Alhan once again. Then 5/10 seconds back on then. Already then Emerson is pulled out quite a into the pits. There comes up FIFA then. He's got onto the onto the medium tires, I say. Then Granty's got another penalty then. I think that's 6 seconds worth of penalties now for Granty, as he is just trying to stay in the wheel tracks of Emerson tonight. Mr. Elite has just moved over to 40 position. He's gone to the hard tires, Mr. Elite, as till the end of the race. And so we've got a couple of drivers there who are trying to get to the end now as well. So this is going to get very interesting, I think, in terms of strategy, and this could definitely shake things up then. So Fire Shot saying this race would have been good there, but unfortunately got clipped at the around the first corner. Yeah, we seen it on the stream there, Fire Shot, unfortunately there, and that's a shame really, because I think Fire Shot had a lot of pace, didn't he, in this race as well there. But Fire Shot would be very disappointed there not to be involved in this race as well, because he could have got a good amount of points there for the McLaren team then, but unfortunately that hasn't come to pass in this race tonight. We got lap 20 out of 36 then, and it's been a very good race so far. I've enjoyed this race. It's probably my best favourite race of the season so far. Absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Murphy's got a 3-second penalty there for finding a shortcut. Unfortunately, he is down in 16th for the moment. He's almost 2 seconds behind FIFA for the moment. Murphy, one of several cars going to the end then, along with Mr. Elite then. And Murphy is now caught up to the back ever so slightly. So there's now sort of gaggle of cars there behind Murphy on board of Alhan at the moment. As we're coming into the Mickey Mouse section as well. There's Diego in the foreground. Nightwing is about 5 seconds back and on those hard tires as well. 6 seconds now for Granty. It's over. It's over. The king is the king is dead. Long live the king then for Granty. Of course, Granty has been the undisputed king of ALR, hasn't he, for quite a number of seasons now, hasn't he? But he has 6 seconds worth of penalty now. Granty does, and he's got Clarky Baron down on him as well then. But even so, that Granty, in every single season he's been part of ALR, he's always won at least one race there, and of course that record does continue tonight, doesn't it? Unfortunately, Nigel would have won in every single race of the season of his ALR career as well, but unfortunately that isn't going to be the case this season unless he appears in the final 2 races, of course. But Nigel unfortunately there hasn't appeared in the last couple of races, which is a shame really, isn't it, for the first world champion of ALR. So the gap is now up to 3.1 seconds there for Emerson. He's not home and drive yet. He's not home and host yet. Is he into the pits there? And now 17 laps down on those hard tires there for Tango. He comes out of the pits now. And where is he going to come out? He might come out in front of King Zone. It's going to be very much different there, because King Zone is on full throttle coming down the back straight. There's Gunnar in the background as well. Where is he? He is through. And I think that Gunnar might also be fancying a run at Tango as well. Tango's out of the pits then. And Gunnar there is he's about 0.2 of a second shy there of getting past Tango. So Tango then is in 12th position there on those medium tires as well. We've got a bit of a train now forming, haven't we? Yes, Nightwing, it's got a 3-second penalty as well. We'll take a look at those penalties in just a jiffy as well then. But at the moment then we've got Caesar, we've got Alhan, and Diego Bandaway then into the pits. There comes Grant. He's got a 5-second penalty. Grant has there for speeding in the pit lane. Unfortunately, then, so Granty then is the penalty starting to rack up now for the world champion. Is there into the pits? There comes Diego as well. Just as he was becoming under siege there. Caesar is now in the 3rd position. There we've got Alhan, who is in 4th position and gaining on Caesar as well. So we're coming down the back straight. Granty has now gone to the medium tires until the end of the race then. As Diego has also done the same as well. As whereas equals there, it's going to be out just behind Grant. And what about the two Haas cars? And Carter, as a car there has dropped down 10th position, and he has gone onto these medium tires, but also to the end of the race then. And this is, I've got to say, very much variety of spice, isn't it, here tonight? And brilliant stuff indeed then. As we're just now on board with Kingston now, he's now putting the squeeze on, well, it looks like Tango might actually be pulling away, actually. So that's me getting my wires all across, which is standard stuff. Clark at the moment then is now 3.7 seconds away from Emerson as well, and Clarkey is having an absolutely immense drive, isn't he, tonight? And brilliant stuff indeed then, as we're on board now then with Alhan, and he said that is what a 10th second looks like in a Formula 1 car as well. Mr. Lee is getting by Gunnar, is he? Yes, he is, and he fights past Gunnar, and he is up into 13th position as well. Mr. Lee is but Gunnar there is trying to come back at him as well. Gunnar, I think Gunnar likes his track, doesn't he? He seems to be doing very well on it, albeit he's not in the points just yet then, but that could definitely change, can it, in the foreseeable future then. Just watching car at the moment in 10th position. He's doing a good job in gold, isn't he? He did a good job in bronze as well, didn't he? I think he was a bit unlucky with safety cars and all the shenanigans going on, but I think Car there in 10th position at the moment there, and looking very strong, isn't he, for the Haas team as well. Alhan is gaining on Caesar. He's trying to come up from underneath the rear wing of the Red Bull, but at the moment there, it's Caesar who still has the high ground as well. We're on board then with Caesar, as he is no, we're on board the Mercedes car, goodness me, as just now coming down the back straight as well, as just coming into turn 4 then, and look at let's take stock then. We're on lap 23, Alto at 36 then, so Emerson is leading them by 4 seconds then. Clarkey is still homing in on him, isn't he? Third position is Caesar, Alhan in 4th, then Nightwing on those hard tires there in 5th position, and Farf is in 6th, Granty in 7th position. He's got a lot of penalties now. Granty has 8th position is Equals, 9th position is Diego, 10th position is Carter, and that is the top 10. 15 seconds back is Tango, he's 11th position at the moment, he's got fresh medium tires. Kingston in 12th then, 13th position is Mr. Lee, 14th position is FIFA, Dan in 15th, 16th position is Gunnar, Bulky in 17th position. Retirement is fire shot as well, as Granty is racking up the penalties now slightly, isn't he? But as we're just now coming out of the final turn as well, Alhan is still in the wheel tracks and Caesar at the moment, isn't it? So just taking a look at the Red Bull cars at the moment, and I think Caesar at the moment there is doing just about enough of a job there to keep the constructors going until the next race in Brazil in a week's time, of course. And so at the moment there, Caesar is, I think, just about keeping the constructors' hopes alive with the Red Bull team. Good stuff indeed there from Caesar, but that might not be fact there, so do not so do not quote me on that there, because I am completely excited. It's completely awful when it comes to Mustard as well. Just taking a quick look then as well, as we just got Al Hashi saying hello Sean and hello to the rest as well. Hello Al Hashi. Gunnar gets a 5-second penalty for being that damn good then. Gunnar, well, there it is 16th position then. I think Gunnar has had a very good race actually, but unfortunately I think that just shows the strategy and how important it is as well. I think he's gone back slightly because he is probably not on the optimal strategy, but I think his overall race pace from Gunnar today has been absolutely magnificent indeed then, so hats off to Gunnar in the Williams as well then. And of course we've got Farfin Granty then. These two just seem to meet each other, don't they? It's, look at this, Clarkey's in the pits there, he is just under, oh, it's a bit of a bang there on the rear there from Granty to Farfed. He is just within the undercut zone, I think now, so Emerson's going to have to really push on this lap there to regain the lead then, or reclaim the lead I should say then. So just coming out of the final turn as well then. Farf is carrying on those hard soft tires I said, and Granty out underneath there, and he is having his 6th position there. Where is Clarkey? Clarkey is already through there, but look at this, it's Granty there is trying to get the slipstream from Clarkey, but I think Clarkey should be safe. He's on the soft tires again. Clarkey is as we come down into turn 1 then, so Granty there just dropping off, and that's why he was pushing hard of course then, wasn't he, because he wanted to get in front of Clarkey. That has not been the case, has it? I think being those extra couple of corners behind Farfair has really cost him now getting in front of Clarkey. And just back on board with Alhan as well. Equals coming out of the points as well, out of the pits as well. He is now out of the points, so unfortunately Equals is, but he's been flirting with the points for most of this race, hasn't he? So he might be able to get back in there. He's on the soft tires. Tango has gone to the medium tires then with 11 laps to go, 12 laps to go I should say then. And this battle here then, 16 seconds between Emerson and Caesar and Alhan at the moment. Emerson there is coming into the pits then. Look at those brake discs glowing then, and the race leader there, of course, who is currently in the pits moment and is aiming for his 7th Grand Prix win at this season then. Renault mechanics are ready to go to work then, and what tires got on? He's back on the soft tires out for the Renault car then. I don't think Renault can start to celebrate just yet on the on the constructors then, perhaps then. And now into the pits then comes Caesar. He's in the pits then, and so is Alhan as well. Nightwing, oh, look at this then. I was going to say that Nightwing, and look, there's Emerson there, and look, Clark is going for the lead then. He is going for the lead. Clark is taking the lead then. He's gone for the undercut, and that's exactly what he wants to do. That Nightwing is also involved as well. And at the moment then, Clarky then is going to be a forward in the side then for Emerson in his championship coronation here tonight then. As look at this then. So then is Clarky then has done one lap more than he has been quicker than Emerson over the last couple of laps, but really that undercut has definitely helped him out, and Emerson has dropped down hasn't he? Just for saying, Nightwing's doing one hell of a job there. He really is, isn't he? Nightwing is in first position there. He's done 10 laps on those hard tyres. He's done 17 laps on those hard tyres so far. That's the longest stint of anyone in this race thus far. So, and they're going to be lighter now as well. So I would say that, not confidently, I would say that perhaps those hard tyres might be able to get to the end. Oh no, and Nightwing is off the circuit. Oh goodness me, and Nightwing, who's on a great race there, and he is out of the Mexican Grand Prix there, and of course we see it quite a lot there. We see it in Japan as well. Nightwing has a great race, he makes a mistake, and that is it. He is out. That's the second retirement of the Mexican Grand Prix. Clark is at the fast out of the race there, just to underline just to celebrate that he's taking the lead then, but Emerson is coming back. He's fighting now then, as I think Serious Mushroom there has just put the jinx there on Nightwing, because I'm not taking the flak for that one. Now Emerson is up the inside, he takes the lead. Remember, Emerson hasn't got any penalties either, so he has the high ground, but Clarky is fighting. We've also got Cart, who's also got past as well, but I need to be looking at this one. Look at this, and Emerson has the DRS, and Clark is right underneath him as well, but Emerson now has just about enough of a advantage. Grant in third position, Caesar in fourth, Diego in fifth position, Cart in sixth position, 4th, 7th, Tango is 8th, equals 9th. Alhan is down in 10th position there. There's something going on with Alhan, I think, and that is not good at all then. And oh gosh, and yeah, Alhan is going to be back slightly, isn't he? And look at this, as King's has got pass, and he's up into 10th position there. Mr. Elite, no, it's not giving up, is he? But Mr. Elite is down into 11th position as well. There is Mr. Elite, I think, was going to go up and under of King's, but that's not the case, is it? King's there back in 10th position. Both Ferrari drivers are in the top 10. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff indeed then. And now Murphy has actually gone up to 11th position. Well, Murphy there, who's also doing a similar stride then to Nightwing, wasn't it? Emerson now leads then. Now let's see what the pace then Emerson's got then. But at the moment then it's Clarky who is gaining and going down. It's turn one. He's having a look there. He might be too far back at the moment then. This might be a battle. This is going to be a battle we're going to see again and again in ALR, isn't it? It's Clarky, it's Emerson, and it's for all the marbles, isn't it? In terms of the race win as well. But of course Emerson does have the advantage of having no penalties at the moment there, of course, as I'm now just coming underneath the into the stadium sector as well. Brilliant stuff indeed as we accelerate out then, as out of turn 6, and away we go then as well. Kingdom is dropped back behind drop back behind Mr. Elite, and Mr. Elite is back into the top 10 at the moment in time now. I think the constructors are so close, it's actually swung back into the advance of Renault at this stage then. So Caesar needs to get past Granty if he wants to keep the constructors' hopes alive. Of course, there or thereabouts anyway, but if I'm wrong on the constructors' mass, then please give me a shout, because I think I am. Coming into the stadium sector once again then. We've got 8 laps to go, then we've got 8 laps of this incredible battle as well. There's Granty, who is having it's a Tango is having issues as well. He's in 8th position. He's had a good battle back through the field then, and he is now in 8th position then. And look at this then, Tango then, can he stop Emerson from being crowned world champion here tonight then? And I gotta say then, I think that Clarky would certainly wouldn't mind, would he? Because of course there, it's all for one and one for all then, but Clarky there on the outside, Emerson defending absolutely beautifully there, isn't he? And he keeps it there. Oh, he's getting a bit squirrely on the exit, turn 2 and 3, and now then that has definitely encouraged Clark, and then onto the second DRS zone as well. We've also got King Zone, Alhan, and King Zone, Alhan, and Mr. Elite. They're battling for the final point at the moment now, but we have Tango then, who is not in the race at the moment then, and I think that might be done and dusted for Tango in terms of his points there. So Mr. Elite, King Zone, and Alhan will be fighting for 2, 1, and Neil Poir, won't they, for 9th, 10th, and 11th then. And just on board then once again with Clark. He's 2 tenths of a second back him on, but I think Alhan is a bit closer. He's more than closer. He is past the Ferrari. And oh goodness me, it's we've got I think it's Gunnar just getting on the way then. As now coming down in to turn 1 as well. Only 2 retirements, Nightwing and Fireshot, who are both then who unfortunately both out of the race as well, aren't they? And those 2 drivers were, I think that were Fireshot have really good qualifying and potentially was on course for an amazing race there, but unfortunately that's not happened then. And Nightwing was having a really strong race there on the hard tyres, I think to the end of the race. Unfortunately they're out of this race as well. And they're just on board then with Clark. And look, Liz is gaining again. Then he's using slipstream then. And Grant, I thought I was Granty there, but it's not. I think it's Gunnar. As Clark there was trying to go on the outside there, but not the case. And now he's going to go up and under. Not quite then. Or is it quite? No, it isn't quite, not at the moment then, but he's like swooping back to the inside there. I think he's just trying to annoy Emerson at the moment. Emerson, you see the red light flashing then? That is harvesting then on the Renault car at the moment. Alhan now is now putting the squeeze, isn't he? Kingdom's got a 3-second penalty to his name then, so Kingdom there dropping back then. Murphy is not too far away from a point at this stage then, so that's a great drive from Murphy, and it underlines to never give up, does it? Because Murphy, who was right at the back, is now having to oh, 13th edition as well then. And we got a Ferrari off. It's Kingdom who is spun out of the Nigel Mansell turn, and that's not good at all. And also we've got Alhan who's up into 9th position. Mr. Lee dropping down as a 10th in the Renault, and Murphy there is also coming in as well. Cart is out, and where's he gone? He's gone off in quite a big way, and oh goodness me, oh, he's gone straight off there. What's happened to Cart? And that's not good then. The Haas car who's doing a really good job then is out in the firing line then. I don't think it's a safety car because I think it's out of the firing line at the moment. So look at Emerson then. Emerson's trying to defend, but Clarkey is through. He takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix, and he is back in front of Emerson at the moment then. That 31 out of 36, and Emerson just needs to stay within 3 seconds then of the car in front then. Let's take a look at the penalties if I can get it working. Oh yes I can then. That's South high five. As we got Clark Hughes 3 seconds then, and we got Clark Hughes actually 3 seconds in front of Emerson at the moment then, but of course said because he's got 3-second penalty. If you can make heads and tails that, because I certainly couldn't. Yeah, so Clark at the moment has 3-second penalty then. Emerson just needs to keep within 3 seconds. Grant, he has 23 seconds worth of penalties. That is going to drop in an awful long way down then. He might be in 8th position then, which will mean that he is out of the championship, which means that Emerson, whatever happens then, will whatever happens then will be crowned world champion then, give or take that. So so that could be very interesting indeed then. We'll keep an eye on that as well then. So so we got Granty and Equals then on 23 and 18 seconds there. Goodness gracious me then. So a lot of penalties then. Everyone else has been very good actually on the penalties at the moment. Lovely stuff. Coming out of turn at number 17 as well then. Emerson is just about then in the wheel tracks of Clarkey, isn't he? But at this moment in time then, he is not the champion. Having said that, we've got to take into account is Granty is Granty is out of the race then. Oh goodness me then. And it's just like 96, isn't it? And Emerson, I think, is the world champion of ALR Gold, the season 4 Formula 1 2020. And what a shame there for Granty. I think we've seen the old Granty today, and definitely in a lot of ways there, as he lunged into turn 1, didn't he? He made a good odor fist into turn 1 as well, and it was great to see him back up there as well, wasn't he? He got qualified, almost nailed on, but he was right in front of the field then, and he was having a good old scrap as well. But it's such a shame there for Granty, and that is a big shame, isn't it, for Granty? But of course, remember 96 Hill was crowned the champion as well, wasn't he? After Villeneuve retired as well. So Emerson then, here he is, and he is the world champion of season 4 then, as Granty's monopoly on ALR has come to the end, but only for the time being perhaps then as well. Of course, remember, he was absolutely dominant in the last 2 seasons. Emerson was runner-up the last 2 seasons, but this season there, he has really come on form, hasn't he? He's been really good there, and of course he is he's really upped his qualifying game as well, and now he he wins the world championship as far as I can tell then. Good stuff indeed there for Emerson. Absolutely hats off indeed then. is just coming down the hill as well. Then, so Clark at the moment. So at the moment, Emerson still has the potential to win this race, but Clarkey can he gain an extra 1.4 seconds over Emerson with 4 laps to go as well. So that'll be that's going to be the final talking point of this race as well. In the constructors, I do not think that Red Bull can win its day. Having said that, Mr. Elite is actually moved up into 8th position then. So I'm going to get my calculator out again, guys. Oh goodness me. Here we go then. So once again then, more maths nightmare for me. But I think the one thing I'm glad I'd have to do is get the calculator for the Drivers' Championship anyway. Here comes Clark, and then we're on board of him now then, as he is now coming into the twilight of this race as well then. I think Clarkey has been absolutely outstanding tonight, isn't he? He's been head and tails so quick, hasn't he, in that AlphaTauri? And this is a very impressive performance for the AlphaTauri team. Really good stuff indeed then, as he now comes out of the final turn on lap 34 out of 36 as well then. And really brilliant stuff indeed then. So then it's just now on board with Clarkey then. So let's take stock then. Clarkey leads the race, but he needs to find another 7/10 of a second there. Emerson's dropped back slightly. I'm wondering then if he just took his foot off the gas then, and is just happy to coast down, because whatever happens now, he is the world champion, isn't he? He can park it, and he can park it, put his feet up, and break out a glass of I don't know, Malibu, Bacardi, I don't know, or something like, maybe a bit of WKD. We don't want to get him too drunk, do we? But Emerson there, of course, I can break open a glass of WKD now and to really celebrate Caddy, because whatever happens now, he is the world champion of ALR Gold, and of course that is his first championship as well. Brilliant stuff indeed there, and huge congratulations to Emerson there. He's going to be absolutely ecstatic, isn't it, when we do the old interviews in just a few moments time as well. I think but as much as Emerson's been great today, I think my driver today has to be this man here. Clark, he's been absolutely brilliant, hasn't he? From start to finish there, he's been magnificent, hasn't he? And I don't think that anyone could really disagree with that, can he? Brilliant stuff indeed. And so we're on board there with Clarky. I'm just enjoying the final part of the race as well, isn't it? Because amazing stuff indeed there for Clarky. Absolutely fantastic stuff, then. As he's just coming down the back straight once again then, as I've actually just got my calculator out, and I think at the moment then, yes, I think that Renault have actually won the constructors as well. So yep, I think that is the case then, but of course I might be wrong, but we'll find out then. Becca's just asked, has Renault won the constructors? Said, I think they have. But that's a very big if, and I've just got my calculator out. At the moment then, Renault are 76 points in front of Red Bull. Red Bull then needed to is it Clarkey there? Is goodness me then, I thought he was going to go straight on there. So Clarkey is still pushing, isn't he? He has got the gap he needs then to win by 0.2 of a second. Oh my goodness me then, as that was very worrying indeed there for Clarkey. I think Renault won the constructors and they are 76 points in front then. Of course they needed to get it, they need to keep it under 88 points then, don't they? So then, it's Clarkey is really struggling. What's going on with Clarkey there? I think he might just be having a bit of fun out there now. So Tango is Tango then. What's happened? Tango there has just got past Gunabot. Looks at FIFA now in 10th position as well. It's a Red Bull got two participants, haven't they, in the top 10 on board with Emerson, and he is on his final up there over Mexico as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then. As he's coming down the back straight as well, Emerson is. Clarkey doing a fine job as well. I think that he is my driver today. He's been fantastic, hasn't he? 15th on the grid there. He's got a 3-second penalty. That's not what Clarkey wanted. And maybe then there's going to be another twist in the tail as well then. So Clarkey there has got to find an extra 2 seconds in this race as well. Otherwise, Emerson will be claiming his 7th world championship. Goodness me. He's almost on par with Hamilton. Oh, he is on par with Hamilton. His 7th Grand Prix win of the season then. As I've got to say, Clark's been a bit erratic, hasn't he? On one of those tires there, he's just pushed him a lap too far then. As I think he has pushed Clark. I wonder if he has pushed him a lap too far. I haven't said that. He's still pulling time out on Emerson there. I think Emerson might just be happy just to coast it to the end of the race as well then. But as Clark then from 15th on the grid then, hasn't he? He has been absolutely magnificent. Clark, he has a really impressive pace around. Look at that, says the confetti is coming out, but I don't think it's going to be for Clarkey, unfortunately. He's got to find another second in the last couple of turns as well. As Clarkey enters the across the line then. But it's Emerson there. He comes out of follow through, and Emerson is the world champion of ALR Gold Season 4. Emerson is the world champion there. Brilliant stuff indeed. Absolutely magnificent. His 7th Grand Prix win of the season. He's been on pole position 5 times this season. And absolutely magnificent stuff indeed there. Emerson, a worthy champion as well. He's been runner-up twice, but now he has got the big one. He is the World Drivers' Championship of ALR Gold. And really good stuff indeed there. Clarkey finishes 2nd in the end. Caesar with a brilliant drive to 3rd. Then Diego strong in 4th position. 4th, magnificent as well. And 5th position there. Whilst we focus on the runners in front there, I've kind of almost forgotten about what was going on there. In 6th position there is Equals. And Equals got a lot of penalties, doesn't he? Alhan could finish in 6th position then in the Mercedes and potentially could get 3rd with Pease having issues in his out for the remainder of the season, we think. Alhan in 6th position there. Equals in 7th then. Mr. Elite is going to come home in 8th position as well, and I think maybe this might be judged on penalties, but I think he's dropped down to 9th position, but I'm sure Renault is still the Constructors Champions anyway. So good some detail from Renault. Dan 8th, Mr. Elite 9th. FIFA is coming into the pits there, but I think he'll finish 10th anyway. Indeed he does then. So good stuff indeed there for Mr. Elite as well then. As Ayrton saying, come on Emerson, fully deserved then, it really is indeed then. Clarkey getting driver of the day then, as we got a driver part of the year for FIFA BV emulating Michael Schumacher back in Silverstone. Ayrton saying, come on Emerson now, fully deserved, brilliant stuff indeed. Liam, congratulations Emerson. Emerson, world champion now. Serious Mercy saying, so pleased for him, amazing stuff indeed. Equals, well done Emerson. Volcano, best career finish, I'm happy with that. Mr. Young Knight saying, Emerson, world champion. Repeat, Sean. Yes, indeed he is. He is the world champion. He is top of the podium as well. Oh, absolutely magnificent stuff indeed there. And Renault, I think, have sealed the constructors as well. So fantastic stuff all the year round then. And I think it's just, well, that's done, isn't it? Renault and Renault constructors. Emerson, the Driver Championship. I think we can go home. Fantastic. Final classification then from the Mexican Grand Prix then is this. Emerson there won this race as well, and his 7th Grand Prix win also takes the title as well with 2 rounds to go. That is the earliest any ALR driver in gold has ever picked up the Drivers' Championship in gold. Clarkey in 2nd, what a driver of the day. 3rd was Caesar, brilliant stuff. Diego strong 4th, Far 5th, Alhan 6th, Equal 7th, Murphy battling 8th, 9th Mr. Elite, FIFA in 10th position, Gooner 11th, Tango 12th, Kingzone 13th, Bulky 14th, Granty, Carton, Nightwing and Fireshot all retired from this Mexican Grand Prix. And I did that so quick, then the timer started again, blimey. Just to read it on all the comments as well then. Bulky saying congratulations, Emerson. Says much he deserved it. Send Granty your address over to get that trophy. Get that trophy. ALR's not made of money then. Well, unfortunately, I think we're going to send him we're going to send him a pack of chips, I reckon then. Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. Of course, the champion is here and going to be talking to him in just a jiffy as well, so I'll get my devices sorted out. There we go. Right then. So Emerson now, you got your 7th Grand Prix win of the season, and that was what claimed the World Championship as well then. How are you feeling?
A bit lost for words really. I mean it's been 3 long seasons of trying to win the championship now. I mean, the last 2 seasons were super difficult, but I just had that bit of an edge this season, I feel, and obviously my qualifying massively improved, and yeah, I was quicker in the race, and it just all came together.
Yeah, I was going to pick up on qualifying, because qualifying has been absolutely amazing for you this season. You've picked up 10 pole positions in your career, but this season you've just doubled your tally. Absolutely fantastic. How have you improved your qualifying performance this season?
Honestly, it's just hours and hours on time trial that probably isn't healthy, I'll put it that way.
Amazing stuff as well. And during the race as well, like today, you had no pounds at all, which edged you in front of Clarkey towards the end, because you just kept it clean and tidy. That's how Alhan won last week, and this week there you kept your penalties down there and really edged over the line there.
Yeah, I mean, I was just managing what was going on, really. I knew, obviously, Clarkey had a Q2 ban, but I know he's quick in the race, and I know he's especially quick around here, especially from his Q1 time. So my plan was originally to 1-stop, but then as soon as I saw everyone behind me 2-stop, and I thought, well, especially at this point, they had penalties, and I thought, well, I might as well just copy them and just stick with them and just stay behind and especially if they've got penalties. I only had one warning in the first stint, I think it was. So yeah, I just kind of managed my race as I went, and I know Clarkey got me at the end, but he was gaining on me at one point, and I was a bit worried that he was going to get it up to 6 seconds gap. But yeah, I mean, I would have still been happy with P2 at the end of the day. But yeah, very happy with the win as well, and the championship, of course.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Then, if you can pinpoint one flashpoint in the season where you won the title, where would it be?
As in one race that was
which swung it in your favour.
Honestly, I feel like it was probably Baku with my first win, because I had a lot of issues before that with obviously all the internet and everything, but that was like a massive confidence boost, because at the start we had Cookie who was just walking away with everything, and I think he was 100 points ahead of me at one stage, and within 4 races I'd got it back down to 0 again, obviously because that was he had DNF'd, but yeah, I feel like it was just that run that I went on, those 3 wins, but especially Baku.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Well done, Emerson. Absolutely fully deserved then. Twice you've been runner-up, but you've got it today. I think for the final 2 races, you're going to enjoy yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, I was kind of tempted to start from the back for the last 2, but I think I might just try and get those pole positions and race wins up. But yeah, first of all, I kind of wanted to say, like, if it wasn't for Dan, my cousin, probably would never have done this, because last game, I literally had the game on Xbox, and a week later he convinced me to buy it on PlayStation and join this league, and obviously my first race I managed to win, so yeah, if it wasn't for him I probably wouldn't be here right now winning this, but yeah, and I just wanted to say thanks to you guys for putting on the show, Nosy, you, Sean, Farf and Dan, appreciate it.
Oh, don't say thanks so far if he doesn't do anything. Yeah, well done, Emerson. Brilliant stuff indeed. And thank you for those kind words. Absolutely lovely. And that was Emerson, your world champion. Let's come to Caesar, who's been very quiet in the background. And Caesar, you got your 5th podium today as well. And I was talking about the future of ALR during the race there. And one person that I'm really looking forward to next season is seeing you lock horns with Emerson on a more regular basis as yourself, then. But talk about your race, and you had a battling drive to that podium.
Well, first of all, Emerson got lucky he won because I wasn't here since the start. I'm just kidding, man. He's way better than I am. So congratulations to him for winning the ALR title, and yeah, hopefully someone will be there to challenge him next season. But yeah, coming back to the race, it was quite an eventful race in the first 2 stints. I think ALR got some wing damage in the final stint, and that really just released me, and I was on my own to the entire stint. So it was just a literally Sunday ride to the podium. I was surprised Grande retired, because I was hoping that he could have had some unfair penalties, but you take whatever you get, and I think guys like Emerson and Crowdy in the session E3, there's someone from with my face. I think E3 is the best they can hope for.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you. Thank you for that, Caesar. Much appreciated indeed then. Right, that's going to be it for gold here tonight then, as we're back in action then for silver tomorrow night then. 7:30 UK time. The championship is still up for grabs. As Gurman and Dan Murphy going head to head. Who is going to be the world champion? We'll find out then going in tomorrow then. But for now, it's goodbye.